Welcome to Blaby. It's Leicester Falcons against Manchester Titans. My name is Carl Walkinshaw and welcome to this production of the game. We will be bringing you the game live from Leicester all of today. It's been a fascinating season in the North Premiership, lots of surprise results. But today we've got one team, the Leicester Falcons, who are fighting for survival in this division. Their record is actually still fighting for the chance to win the division. They've had an up and down season, which we'll hear a little bit about before the game. We've got coaches' interviews coming up. We've got the full live stream coming up. So we've got lots to bring you. One interesting story that's just broken today is that Noel Cassar, Leicester Falcons head coach, will be standing down at the end of the season. You'll get to hear from him on his reasons why, and some of those reasons are interesting, some of those reasons are controversial, as we know. We always hear from Noel on the interviews. He's always very honest with us, and he'll be telling us just how he's come to the decision to step down. But also Peter Birds, who the Manchester Titans head coach is, will also be standing down at the end of the season. His decision was made some time ago, but we also spoke to him about his decision. We also hear that there's rumours that other head coaches will be standing down, some prominent head coaches. So if we have any breaking news during the show, we will bring you that as well. So you'll hear from both coaches in our interviews. Let's talk about the Falcons first, though, in their season. They're 2-6. We'll bring you their results, and let's have a look at that table now. And we can talk through some of the wins and losses that they've had. So critical wins. The Leicester 2 wins. They've beat the Wolves 10-0, and they beat the Sheffield Giants in their opening game 21-8. And those have been critical for them. But in that bottom part of the table, you'll see later on that they're still competing for that relegation battle and wanting to stay up in the Premiership. But they've also had big losses. So they lost to Merseyside 23-18. They had that big loss to the Titans. The last time these two teams met, the score was 16 to Leicester, 49 to Manchester. And that big loss to Tamworth. The Giants in the return game got their own back on Leicester and won that one 14-12. And then Tamworth, last time we saw this team here at Blaby, Tamworth beat them 28-7. And so it's been an up and down season for Leicester. Obviously they had that shock decision right at the beginning of the season that they wouldn't be able to play their American athletes. They had a partnership set up between Baker University in the States, between Derby University here, and then the Leicester Falcons senior team, and they wanted those American scholarship athletes to come over and lead this team in the Premiership. That's not happened for them because of that BAFA decision early on, the decision that they would not be eligible to play. And so it's changed their season. You'll hear today from Noel Cassar that the numbers have slowly dwindled and they have less players now, partly due to injury and partly due to the fact that lots of players have just moved on and gone to other places. So when you look at their team, Abansky, who is their quarterback, has really emerged as the star. He's actually their 4th quarterback that they've gone through this season at Leicester, but he has emerged as a star. If you're watching All or Nothing, you'll know the Carolina Panthers are featured, and Cam Newton is the kind of NFL equivalent of Abansky. Abansky is a big kid. He can run. He's fearless. He's young. He's just come out of winning a Bucks Division 1 title. So he's full of confidence, and he'll be a player to watch today. But in the backfield, Leicester have really struggled. Marcus Francis injured and not available due to injury. Nick Jones has seen running duties, played in the GFL, a good runner, was at the GB trials just recently during the weekend. So we might see him, or they might have to go to 3rd, 4th string running backs. We'll just have to see what team comes out to play. And then receiver-wise, there's been lots of turnovers. They've relied on people like Jarrett. They've relied on Danny Burton. We'll see whether that team comes out to give Abansky the weapons that he needs to come close to actually threatening these Manchester Titans. So it's an interesting day for Leicester. They really have to make sure that they win this one or they win the next one. Otherwise, they're really in danger of that being back in Div 1 next season. We did hear from Noel Cassar. So what we want to do now is to bring you that interview. We're going to bring you the interview with Noel Cassar. Then we'll go to an ad break. When we get back, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Manchester Titans, and we'll be closer towards kickoff. I'll see you after the interview. I'm here with head coach Noel Cassar of Leicester Falcons. Good to speak to you, Noel.
Good evening. Tell me what I said last time. Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you
right,
too.
right.
Big news this week, and it's just gone onto Facebook, is you're stepping down at the end of the season.
I am, yes, stepping down.
Tell us about that decision.
I've had some great years here. I think the goal was to get Falcons to the Premier League. I've done that goal. I want to stay at least 2 years here, but just decided to step down now. Main reason, it's been a hard year. You know, it's mainly BAFA. But BAFA have put a knife in, and I've just had enough of it. So decided to give someone else a chance to do it. You know, 25 wins, 9 losses, 7 of them this year. I just think it's time to go and let someone else do it for a change. You know what I mean?
And I suppose the expectation with 25 wins is a great record over the last 3 years, isn't it? But you would expect when you get to the Premiership that it's going to be more competitive.
Oh yeah. I expect to be competitive. I really did. But there's other factors to that, you know, that's gone on. The football's, I don't mind the football. Football's great. It's more the politics, the off-field has just took its toll, and I just feel like going away. Like I say, you know, Britball's the worst community that you could ever be involved with. You never liked, you always hated. Not just Leicester Falcons, everybody. And there's so much you can take. I mean, Manchester guys stepping down. I've heard a few others stepping down. You know, a lot of coaches will be going this summer for various reasons. My main one is BAFA, but I don't think I'll be going away from football. I mean, I'm going to go on holiday, see what happens, enjoy the family for a bit. You know, which is what I haven't done. I normally do back-to-back coaching, which has took a toll on them. So it'd be nice to spend a Sunday at home instead of coming training or coming to games.
There you go, head coach taking his toll, and I guess it does around the country. So since we last saw you, we saw the 28-7 loss to Tamworth, but it was a competitive game.
It was good.
And then you go to Merseyside, and it's a 50-burger, 50-0.
Yeah.
What happened in that game?
We just didn't have the players. I've got at least 25, 30 players injured. I've had players leave to go down to the lower leagues. It's took a big hit, you know, especially the injuries. The injury side has injuries to key players like the Taylor Brown, TSWs. They're injured, they're missed. You know, you can't replace talent, so to speak. You know, so although we got a depth, the injuries have all come at once, and the big injuries. They're not like little pull muscles or anything like that. I question some of the commitment to some of the players, but not all of them. You know, it's hard when you're winning. Everybody turns up. When you're losing, nobody wants to play, and I think that's been a big key as well.
Sure, and is that going to impact you today in terms of the size of the squad you're bringing to this Manchester encounter?
Yeah, so today I've only got 23, 24 players. If that fit ones, I've got a couple of injuries as well within that lot. And I think for any team that's going to come to Division 1, you have to be fit and ready to go and have a big depth, because the bigger, the stronger. I mean, it's great. The football's been great in this division in the north. Everybody's beating each other at the beginning of the season. It was a great division to be in. But injuries take its time. It's been a long season. We've only played 9 games, but it feels like I've been doing it for a year.
Yeah. And we're coming to the end of the season now. Do you see the Leicester Falcons staying up in this division as we come to the really serious part of this competition?
It's going to be hard, relying on other teams not winning. You know, but if we win 1 game, then we stay up. That's what I've told them. One out of these 2, we stay up. It's simple as that. You know, no disrespect to any other team. If we go down, we go down. If we, you know, we'll just come back again. I'm sure Guy and the rest of the team have got plans in place already of what's going to happen next. On that note, I'd like to thank Guy and everybody here. It's been great 3 years. We've had ups, we've had lots of downs from other teams, as you can imagine. And the players and the coaches, it's been, you know, they've all backed me. They've all gone along with what I want to do, but it's time to go. No, I'm looking forward to the last 2 games. Well, I'm not really, but I am. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's that kind of scenario. It's hard. You know, half of me saying I can't wait. The other half is saying I want to be on the beach.
Yeah.
You know, I
suppose there's a bit of you that wants to end strong and finish strong for this team.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I say, I'm hoping to go refereeing next. That's my next challenge. Do that for a couple of years and see what it's like that side. I'm always giving them crap on the sideline. I want to see what's like me getting some.
Excellent. Well, it's been great to talk to you, Noel.
You.
Thanks for being so honest, and we've had some good interviews over the last season, so we've enjoyed it. And thanks very much from Onside Productions and everything you do for Leicester Falcons.
Okay, great.
Cheers, Noel.
Thank you.
Dragonfly Productions are a full-service live event production company. We can cater for all your event needs with a turnkey solution, or can support you with individual needs. We can supply production design, on-site production management, environmental design, scenic design, exhibition design and build, audio-visual design and delivery, and global support. We offer international reach and experience with partners on every continent, so quality is always assured, in-house branding and design capabilities, an in-house scenic workshop, and an in-house video production team. From a small meeting to a large symposium, your meeting will get the same attention to detail. Dragonfly Productions.
Welcome back to Blaby. We're getting ready now for kickoff. You can see the teams behind me, actually, Leicester Falcons and Manchester Titans, just introducing themselves, just getting into the atmosphere. We'll soon be ready for that coin toss. Just a little bit about the Manchester Titans before we go to the interview. This team's now 6-2. They've had a tremendously successful season in the Prem. They made the playoffs last year. They're looking to make the playoffs again, but this year they're also trying to win that Northern Conference title because they beat the Tamworth Phoenix in that shock result, 21-0. Nobody expected it. They really seem to have crossed a boundary for themselves, really pushed themselves out of their comfort zone to take that win. But then, of course, they go beyond the wall. They go to Edinburgh. They go to Scotland, and the Edinburgh Wolves ambush them. A 15-6 loss to the Manchester Titans. So they go from the heights of beating the Prem North champions, the Tamworth, to the lows of losing to the Edinburgh Wolves, who are in that relegation battle just with 2 wins of their own. So which Titans team will turn up today? We had an interview with head coach Peter Birds, who's also stepping down at the end of the season. Let's bring you that interview now and hear from him yourself. Coach, I'm here with head coach Peter Birds as the motorcycles rip past. Thanks very much for joining us, Coach, and welcome to Leicester. You've had a great season so far with Manchester, but you are retiring at the end of the season. So let's start with there and tell us a little bit about how that decision's come about.
Something that we decided early on at the start of the year, basically. There's been a few back-to-back seasons with the Titans and the University of Manchester. Just wanted a little bit of a break, spend a bit of family time for probably a year or so and see what happens, and then a good year out and rest my old bones myself.
Absolutely. So. And it's been a hell of a run for you, hasn't it? I mean, you've seen the Titans come all the way up from Div 2, Div 1 and then into Prem, and now you're competing at the very top. I mean, it's a hell of a programme, this Titans. Tell us a little bit about it.
It starts off with the absolute youth of the team. We have a great youth programme, feeds into our junior programme, and we keep trying to build up from there. We brought a few players in when we moved from Div 2 to Div 1. We had some people like Sam Bloomfield, who's just kindly made comment as he walked past, who brought a different thing to the team about 2 or 3 years ago, and that really kicked us on again a bit more. So it's been a long few years, but the committee's always been driven, and they know where they've always wanted to be, and that's what they've tried to set it up for. Excellent.
And this season, turning our attention to this season, it's been up and down for you, hasn't it? Because you're there at the top, you're competing for the Northern title. You beat Tamworth 21-0. Everyone goes, the Titans are the new Kings of the North, and then of course you go beyond the wall to Edinburgh and you lose. So tell us a little bit about the ups and downs and how that all played out for you guys.
We knew as soon as we stepped into the Premiership, if you have a bad day or you don't come out firing, that all the teams in this division are good. It doesn't matter if you have an off day, the other team will come and take you, regardless of what their position is, what their record is. Every team's a great team in the Premiership, especially in the North. So.
And that game against Edinburgh, what was the difference there? 'Cause it was a low-scoring game, I think, wasn't it? 15-6. You didn't travel well, or
low-scoring game? Edinburgh were absolutely firing for it. You could see that they were fighting for their lives. We had a couple of calls that didn't go our way early on, and we just couldn't get ourselves out of that rut. The lads kept trying. We just couldn't break that mould on that day. It was just a difficult trip up to Scotland, like they always are. So,
all right, excellent. Turning your attention today to this is another critical win. I guess all of them are now as we kind of close out the season. But what are you expecting from Leicester today?
Same as what we'd always expect. We came here a few years ago on our way to the Div 1 final. They're a solid team. They always are. They'll come and they'll come and play in our faces, and wouldn't expect anything different from them. And we'll see what our lads do when it happens today.
And your game plan pretty much standard business as usual for you guys, or are you changing stuff up?
Business as usual. We always keep trying to develop. We'll try and drop a couple of new things in which we see how things working, and we're ever evolving. We're always trying to do new things and try and better ourselves from the previous week.
Excellent. Thanks ever so much for talking to us, Coach. Good luck for the game, and might catch you afterwards. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Blaby. You can see Leicester Falcons are just coming out of their huddle now, and I'm pleased to say I'm joined in the booth today by none other than the president of the Leicester Falcons, Guy Kersey. Hello, Guy.
The one, the only. So, yeah, great to be here. It's my first time on commentary. I will try and be as impartial as possible. Careful with my adjectives, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Should be good. It's good to have you here. And of course, you can tell us all about what's been going on with Leicester behind the scenes, and you can tell us what's happening next season, and we can ask you all sorts of questions. So, being exciting.
I might be able to answer some of them. I might not be able to answer others.
Good stuff.
You know me. Try to avoid controversy wherever possible.
Absolutely. So, are you looking forward to the game today? I mean, this Manchester team, obviously, it's a big challenge for these Leicester Falcons.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's stuff that the Falcons have to play for. They have to play well today.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the way it stands now is 2 games left. We win one of those, we're pretty much secure for next season in the Premiership, which is now the new goal for this season. However, Manchester are a very good team. They put a whomping on us last time, to use a colloquialism.
You're allowed to say whomping, it's fine.
Whomping. Yeah, I mean, they are the model of BAFA right now. It's with this certainly with this the amateur status that the league is in now. They're the model for it. Strong youth teams, strong junior teams. And they feed people through. They play a simple brand of football, but they do it very well.
They do, and they do have that strong programme and that women's team and all sorts of other infrastructure stuff going on up there in Manchester that makes them such a good team, and they are competing. What do you think was the difference this year in terms of Leicester Falcons? Was it that decision by the
options until the second half, and we'll kick?
Sorry, we're just getting the decision of the referee on the coin toss there, so we're very close to kick-off. But what has been the difference this year in terms of Leicester not being able to compete?
It was obviously we had a plan going into this year. In the off season, we worked very hard with our partnership with Baker in University in Kansas, and that was the model going forward. And obviously, when you've worked 6 months or so on a project, and then you find with the 2 days to go that's you've got to completely scrap that, it's going to have a detrimental effect on the team. And we recruited a lot of people around that. We also lost them as coaches as well, so we lost 6 coaches, and that's going to have a knock-on effect. So it's now about you lose the identity of the team, and you spend the whole pre-season building your identity and finding out what your identity is, and we've had to redo that. And what we're left with now, what you're seeing out here today, is the solid core of the team. We lost some people when we lost the Baker guys, but we're left with a solid core that we can build on for next year.
Good stuff. All right, so we're just about ready now. Manchester Titans deferred. They won the toss, but they deferred to the second half, so they'll be kicking. Leicester Falcons will be getting the ball first, and I think we've got Nick Jones back, as I can see that, number 23. I think that's Nick.
Yeah, you got Bammy back there as well, and he's one of the Coventry University players that we've brought in this year, and we've got a great relationship with those guys now. So
excellent.
Yeah, he's a great young prospect, Bammy.
If you want to get in touch with us, you can. If you want to ask questions to Guy, you can. You can hashtag LEI versus MAN. And we'll try and pick those up as we move through this game. Titans getting ready to kick off, all in blue. If you've not seen them play before, they're in blue, and Leicester Falcons in that familiar green that we're so used to this season. So an exciting afternoon in prospect as we get ready now. The Titans ready to kick this one off. It's a low driving kick. Nick Jones is going to field it at his 8. Uses his quick feet to blast through the middle, and that's where he's going to get caught around about the 24-yard line, and that's where Leicester are going to take over.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been around with the team much this week due to some issues, and and it's interesting to see how we're going to come out. Last week we started with Tom Jarrett at QB rather than Marcus Dubansky, so not sure which direction the OC is going to be going this game.
Yeah, interesting, because this is like Abansky is almost like the fourth string quarterback I think that you had in your team. He's really emerged as a star though, hasn't he, Abansky?
Yeah, he did a great job at Coventry, won the Division 1 title with them, and he's a young talent that just needs to get some confidence.
So Abansky is out on the field. He is starting in shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. He's got 2 running backs in that backfield. Hands this one off to Nick Jones up the middle, and Jones makes good yardage on first down. Picks up maybe 4.5. Nice running from the ex-GFL star Nick Jones to get things started.
Yeah, Nick's a great guy, great work ethic, and he's been a real benefit to us. How many times do I have to say he's still on his feet just because Matt's not here?
Still on his feet as many times as you can.
Okay.
We'll start the clock. All right, Abansky then, 2nd and 6. This time he hands it to Patterson. Patterson finds some room on the right-hand side, and he's a good runner, Patterson. Still on his feet as he makes his way into Titans territory, all the way to, the 42-yard line of the Titans. Great run.
Fantastic, yeah. AP is a great runner. He's got so much speed. Once he gets into open field and he makes that first cut, he's a very quick runner, and he's got a lot of talent.
You can see here on the instant replay, even when they got to him, manages to spin out of that, dance out of that tackle. So it's Patterson and Jones making an impact early. Abansky not gone to the air yet, hasn't had to. This time Abansky keeps it himself, and he's going to be met and hit hard. They obviously were waiting for Abansky to take that one. They know about Abansky as a threat as a runner.
Yeah, I don't think that was a design play. It looked like he bobbled the handoff, and he's just decided to tuck it and follow his guy.
It looks, you can see it on the replay here, 3 running threats really for these Leicester Falcons in the backfield. Abansky, a hell of a runner in his own right, and then Jones and Patterson either side of him. Difficult to defend, but they managed to do it on first down, brings up 2nd and 10. 2 receivers to the bottom again. I think that's Burton is one of them. Whistles blow. Looks like there was a problem with the equipment, and one of the offensive linemen had to come off for Leicester and be replaced. So a slight delay in the action here. Abansky to Burton. This time they connect, and Burton manages to pick up 5 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah, that's
first down.
That's a simple offense that we're trying to run. It's establish the ground game, quick passing, and you get the ball into the hands of the athletes, and that's Danny Burton, who's slowly becoming a legend at the Falcons. Absolutely,
kicking duties as well does Danny Burton, and that's Martel Philippe out in front blocking for Danny Burton, number 82, the receiver. This time 2 receivers to the top of your screen, bobbled handoff. Abansky manages to hold on to it, but only manages to scuttle forward for a yard or so, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I'd imagine Coach Knoll will go for this one.
Yeah,
it's in that kind of mid-territory, yeah.
That position on the field. We'll see where they're going to keep the offense out there. 4 yards. Let's see what they've got in the playbook for this. If you're a predicting man, you'd say keep it in Abansky's hands, wouldn't you, and run it. And they do. And the Titans are ready for it. 2 yards. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit predictable, as you say.
Well, if I called it, it clearly was.
Yeah, you were good at reading the game in your day, Carl.
Only 2 yards from Abansky, and he needed 4. That means these guys in blue, these Titans, are now going to be taking over.
I think it was a promising first drive. A couple of first downs. Move the ball, which is what you really want from the first drive. It's great that it would have been great to get that first down and keep moving, but let's see where we're at now.
So we get to see the offense of these Titans with Sam Bloomfield in at quarterback. And he's got running backs in his backfield with him, just one back with him, and that is number 35. who I don't have a shirt number for, name for at the minute, but we'll get you that as soon as we can. And they do get the ball out to 22. who picks up 8 yards.
And that's what Manchester do well. They just run that read option really well.
So James Nunes from that slot position, just a quick catch out, just taking the yards that the defence give them. Saw that the defender was off the line of scrimmage. And a nice little block out there as well, just to free him for a bit more yards. Brings up a manageable second down, 2nd and 2. They go to almost the same play, and that one's incomplete. Trying to get the ball out there to George Slade.
Yeah, I'd expect them to go for gone a bit more vertical on that short, 2nd and short, but keep the chains moving. This is the name of the game.
Yeah, you've always got that chance, haven't you? Come back on 3rd down, like you say, so you can take a risk on those 2nd and short plays. But they don't, so we do have a manageable 3rd down. It's 3rd and 2. Let's see if that tough Falcons defence, and they have been good in spells, the Falcons defence over the year. Let's see if they can hold. Bloomfield looks to his right, and he is going to complete that right by the sticks. Nice design play to George Slade, just to keep those chains moving.
Yeah, he's the release guy down there on the bottom of the field, just in case he doesn't get his initial first read.
That's what they're good at, these Titans. They did this against Tamworth, which was just keeping the chains moving, not taking huge risks, ball management, offense, and they do it well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sam Bloomfield now at quarterback, and he's got a new set of downs in Leicester Falcons territory as they motion James Nunes to the top of your screen. Bloomfield with the snap, fakes the throw but hands it off, and there is a hole up the middle there, and that's going to go for maybe a 1st down.
Yeah, I think that's a 1st down there.
So a nice run, Jonathan Pangago with a nice run up the middle there.
Yeah, I think Manchester will quickly work out that's where they're going to get a lot of game, because it's a very makeshift defensive line looking out there today.
Right. So Leicester putting 5 men on the line of scrimmage. They do hand the ball off, and this time it's a met in the backfield, and that's a nice play from number 44.
Adam Oliver, yeah, he's rookie Adam Oliver. He just came through our rookie camp this year, and he's been a great success. He worked hard and forged himself into the starting lineup.
Nice play by Adam. You can just see the previous play actually on the screen now as we get you back to the live action. 2nd and 7. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. 1 to the bottom, 1 running back. Bloomfield ready to take this snap on 2nd and 7. Moves to his left, and then it's a quick shovel pass underneath to number 26, who goes for the 1st down. And he's still moving. They can't bring him down. Finally, they get him down. That's some tough running there from Ryan Newton with a little shovel pass underneath. And we've seen a couple of times now Bloomfield with some good hand movements to deceive this defense.
That's what they do well. They misdirection very well. That's a great design play.
1st and 10 now in the red zone, 15-yard line. Titans now threatening. This defense is going to have to find a way to tighten up and stop this set. There's 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. So first time we've seen trips. Bloomfield rolls to the trip side, throws it underneath, and that's complete.
And that's pretty much their stock play, which is rollout option pass. And that's, again, they to beat Tamworth, they pretty much did that. They used that play, over and over again. It's so hard to defend.
And the receiver, George Slade, there, right on the sticks again, isn't he? Doesn't take too much, not too greedy, just does enough to keep it moving. And clearly, over the last few games, this Titans team has really grown more in confidence. Other than that blip they had in Edinburgh, they've really had some fantastic results. This time, trips to the top of your screen. 1 receiver now going to the motion. 4 receivers to the left. They do hand it to 26. He's got blockers out in front, those 3 receivers, looking for the edge of the end zone, and he's in! So that is a score for the Titans. Ryan Newton on the end around play with 3 receivers in front of him takes it into the end zone for the first score of the day.
Yeah, he was very patient with that. He took his time, waited for the look for the cutback lane, and then eventually just found himself into the corner.
So nice play by the Titans, a nice controlled drive down the field, about 65 yards they took over in their own half.
Absolutely,
doing enough to kind of move the chains each time, Guy.
Yeah, and that's what this level of football is about. It's so hard to defend. and wears defenses down as well. So they don't make mistakes. And that's the key thing. They just don't make mistakes.
All right, so trying for the point after. This one is up, and it is good. Oh, I tried to save the. I think it's Kia, so it's all right.
It's it's in our insurance policy. We're fine.
Flag on the field. First flag we've seen, actually.
Well, it seems to come in quite late. I think that'll be a low block.
So we'll see what it is. The point after was good, so Manchester should be 7-0 up. Let's have a look at the replay. Nothing we can see there, so it's back to live. You're looking at live now as the referees gather around that flag, just comparing notes. Not quite sure what happened there.
The receiver did a really good job on that play not to hold. And certainly it's something in Britball that receivers get flagged a lot for holding penalties because it's maybe not necessarily got the best technical skills. And he did a really good job not
dead
to
ball, unsportsmanlike
not to hold
conduct. Number 92 of green. It's a 15-yard penalty which is applied on the kickoff. The try is good. Kickoff Manchester.
So an unfortunate 15-yard penalty there will be applied on the kickoff. That was Adetola Alabi with the penalty.
Yeah, I think frustration starting to set in early. It's been a tough season for everybody, so I think the frustration levels will be quite high at the moment.
Is that something you look at after the games or discuss with the coaches? Some the penalty counts and just try and calm those players down.
It is, but it's when it's human nature. Unfortunately, it's very hard. It's strange how when you're winning, you don't tend to get those penalties.
Yeah.
You just want to try and keep everybody thinking on the right path.
So that was Aaron Balkett, who's their kicker, the Manchester Titans kicker, who's on kickoff duties here, and obviously kicked the PAT as well. Did well to kick that. This one is a very short kick. It's trying to be fielded, and it goes out of bounds. So Adam Edwards tried to field that one, couldn't quite catch it, and luckily it goes out of bounds, but it was touched by a Falcons player. It looks like they will take over at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I kind of expected something like that to happen. Whenever you get a personal foul on a kickoff and you've got a short kick, there's no point really, no real great advantage, just kicking out the back of the end zone. So you may as well try and regain possession.
So 1st and 10 for these Leicester Falcons. We'll see whether they can get stuff moving on. I've just get things moving. You're having some tech there, Guy. I see
in my hand here.
Technology. So Abansky back on the field. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. This one's a handoff to Nick Jones with a bit of misdirection, and again he ploughs his way on 1st down for a gain of about 3 to 4. So that'll bring up about 2nd and 7 or 6.
Yeah, again very patient there by Nick. Just waits for his blocks to form. I think that's a tough spot there. But trying not to be biased, and referees are doing a great job out there.
Absolutely. 2nd and let's call it 6.5 then. What can Abansky do on this down in his own half? 7-0 down Leicester early. This one's out to Danny Burton, who takes it well under pressure, manages to pick up a couple, so it takes him over the 30-yard line, and that'll take us about the 32, maybe a yard and a half.
Yeah, just keeps the momentum going a little. Again, he would have hoped to have been able to turn that up. But Marcus has got a big arm as well, so maybe he was trying to suck him into this short game and then look to go over the top later.
This Titans defense is strong, good defensive line. They look good in terms of size. 4 down linemen. They got looks like they're running a 4-3. There's Abansky this time with his dancing feet, tries to make some yards and does, but only 2 or 3. Nice tackle there from number 44, who is Alfred Mzagirzier. And so this tough Titans defense holds again on 3rd down, and it means that Danny Burton is on for punt duty. Scott Higgins is the receiver back for the Titans, and the Titans look ominous at that line of scrimmage, and someone jumped too soon. Not sure whether it was a Falcon or whether this big blue line encroached before the snap.
Whenever the referees blew it dead, I would suggest it's probably coming up against Leicester.
So we'll just wait to hear the call on this one.
Offside on the defence. 5-yard penalty. Still remains 4th down.
So the Titans lucky there because could have given away that first down.
And this gives a possible opportunity for Coach Kazar to possibly pull in a fake, but it would be a brave decision at this stage of the game.
So Burton's still back to receive this snap. This time the referees pausing again. Maybe Leicester want to talk this one over by the sounds of it. So I think that was a Leicester timeout.
Timeout Leicester. First charge,
I think
timeout of the first half.
4th and 1, and certainly the way that the season is at the moment, and there's almost a sense of not a lot to lose by going for it here.
Yeah, and this is a team, if you get the Titans on a good day, that can beat Tamworth, but on a bad day, Edinburgh can take them down. So, I mean, you want to keep this tight as possible, don't you? Make it a defensive struggle. Don't let them get too many scores ahead.
And when you see results like that can suggest, issues with, teams that maybe don't respond well under pressure if they're with a result like the Edinburgh result. So if you keep them under pressure and keep their momentum back, then they may start to implode a little bit.
Absolutely. So Bansky is on. Danny Burton is out as a receiver this time, not as a punter. Let's see what they can do on 4th down. It's a Bansky, and he's not. Is he going to get a no? That defensive line too tough in the middle. It's number 44, who is Alfred Emzen-Gariza, who makes the tackle initially, and then number 99, Charlie Dixon, gets in on the action and takes a Bansky down. So twice they've tried to go for it on 4th down with a Bansky, and twice they've been denied.
And again, both players were trying to go straight through the middle, and I think that was not a great call. Bansky's got great speed, and you've got Patterson and Jones again with great speed. I think maybe there should have been something a little bit more creative on that play.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Let's see whether the Titans now are going to exploit this opportunity as Bloomfield rolls again to his right and connects. And again, picks up good yardage on 1st down. That's 7 yards as he gets the ball out to James Nunes again.
It's just that same play again. It's roll out. If the guy's open, he'll complete the easy pass. If it's not, he'll tuck it and take the yards he can get.
Nunes was the scorer, and he's making an early impact on this game. So they're utilising him well. 2nd and 2. Let's see whether they do go deep on this one or whether they will just... No, it's nice and conservative play calling again, and he's going to be close to that
Quite
first
sure
down.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to give it, and more often than not, if you're close, the referees will give you the first down. They give the offence the benefit of the doubt, more than I would like as a defensive coordinator. I tell you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's that looked like a generous spot to me.
It did.
We're looking right down the line.
We are literally looking. We are sat on the 25-yard line, which is right where they are. So we did get a good shot of that. Nevertheless, what do we know? The referees gave him the first down. 1st and 10. Doubles out this time. Bloomfield this time rolls his left and goes deep. And just lost sight of the football. Had to kind of turn around to Adam Bamba.
Calvin got a little bit caught ball watching there. I think if it was more accurate, he would have been in trouble there, I think.
Yeah, and often be the case of those defensive backs when they lose track of the receiver.
Yeah, it's
they can just sneak in behind, can't they?
Yeah, for some reason their head and their feet don't seem to be able to work together.
Exactly. 2nd and 10. Two receivers to the top, two to the bottom again. Bloomfield in shotgun. Hands this one off, and that's good defence in the middle there, and squirts forward after the initial contact for a gain of 3.
And you've got Mr. Utility, Adam Edwards there, who's been playing a bit of offence, he's been playing a bit of special teams. And Adam's like that kind of player you always want the team that just is there all the time and works hard. And gets very little praise and credit, but he'll do a job for you every down.
Yeah, Adam with the initial, it's actually 21 with the initial contact, and then Adam coming in to clean up on that one.
He'll claim the tackle.
Yeah. So this is a right side run this time. Finally bumped out of bounds is number 26, Ryan Newton.
Again,
Ryan Newton on that one, and they pick up the first down again, Guy.
Yeah, right side of the offensive line just collapsed that corner down nicely, and once you've got around that first corner, you're into bonus yards.
So after that opening score from Newton, they're now threatening again, back on the 14-yard line this time with a first down.
I'd anticipate to see the rollout option pass again fairly soon.
Bloomfield done a good job so far in terms of managing. They're going to go with that motion. And that's James Nunes in motion. This time though they hand it off and the running back goes the other way. And a gain of about, where they're right at the 6-yard line. And it looks like that's going to give them first and... No, they're going to go with they're not going to give a first down, and that's 2nd and 3.
Yeah, you're in 4 down territory here for sure, I think.
Empty set for the first time from Bloomfield. All the receivers out, so he's got
I wouldn't discount a run here,
in
though.
front of him. Play action, and nobody there to that side of the field, so whatever he was trying to do there, Bloomfield, didn't come off.
It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
Interesting set that time.
It is, but again, when you've got a QB like Bloomfield, he's another runner as well, and you saw the slot guy came in motion, so they're still considering the run play at that point. Number 70 Vines enjoying himself out there, left tackle, getting a bit of his, showing some of his dance moves there.
So in the sun, at Leicester, the Titans have 3rd down. Let's see if they go to the end zone here. And that's some good defense that time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's number 21 coming in initially with the initial contact again. He's causing some problems for these Titans.
4th and short now. I think the way their offense has been moving, I'd be very surprised if they decided to kick it here.
So we'll see what Rob Urquhart, defensive coordinator for Leicester, dials up here. It was actually a loss of a yard there, so that was a good play on 3rd down.
I would again potentially see the rollout pass here.
Nick Jones on the field as a defender to the bottom of your screen here. I'm not sure whether he's just there for that rollout.
No, Nick started this season as a safety.
Timeout,
and then with the injuries we had to Marcus
first
Francis,
charge timeout for Manchester in the first
and
half.
Taylor Brown. He's now having to do a little bit of double up duty. So he's a great athlete, and he's one of the fittest guys on the park. So he'll handle that workload. He'll moan about it, but he'll handle it.
So the Titans take a timeout here. Just to think about this 4th down play. Obviously they're going to want to jump out, still in the first quarter, so they're going to want to jump out to an early lead on this one and see whether they can put these Falcons away early.
Yeah, it's one of those, again, it's not a great deal to risk here for them. So, if they don't make it, the Falcons are backed up inside their own 10. If they do, it's more than likely going to go for a TD and extends their lead.
So the players making their way back out. Beautiful sunshine here. It's nice and warm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can see in the background there our executive suite's being built.
Is that what you've ever done?
Yeah. They're not. They may look like houses in a housing development, but yeah, that's part of the Falcons expansion.
You can rent them and watch the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Back to the action. Titans back on the field. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 2 receivers to the top. They're wide out, those receivers, as well, at the top of the screen. Maybe they're trying to do something to the left, to the wide side of the field. They've just audibled something in. You're right, Guy. Ryan Newton swaps sides. They go. Bloomfield tried to connect with his right slot, James Nunes, but that one's incomplete, and the Leicester Falcons hold.
Great, and that's a great job there. And I think any young QB shouldn't watch this throw. It's a little bit sidearmy, a little bit slingy.
Yeah, you can see there on the replay, just too much on it. Nunes didn't have a chance to get into position. But that's good news for the Falcons and the Falcons defense. First time they've held them, so the score remains 7-0. They'll be buoyed by that, won't they, Guy?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, they've got guys filling in spots, and they get a couple more of those, and they'll start to grow in confidence.
So, Abansky back on the field. Hasn't been able to. We've had a couple of 4th down attempts.
If it were me, I'd take a shot. I'd go downtown on this play.
Yeah.
but that's why I'm not an OC.
Let's see what Avansky does do. 2 receivers at the top. This time he's going to keep it himself. Goes to his right-hand side. Initially difficult, but does find some room and eventually does well to get a gain of about 6.
Definitely a design bootleg, that one. And he's, Marcus does a great job. Once he gets around that first corner, he's patient and then hits the gas and goes.
He's big as well, isn't he? I saw him coming out of the locker room. He's a big guy. He could play defensive end.
Tailback, He kind of plays QB under duress a little bit. I don't think it would be his favourite position, but unfortunately he's got the skills, so he doesn't get a great deal of choice.
He's like the Cam Newton of the British game, isn't he?
He's very much like that, yeah.
Patterson this time. Sorry, that's Nick Jones.
And
Picks
again,
up 2.
Solid run up the middle there.
You need that from your running backs, don't you? Just keep the ball moving along, keep pounding away in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, I mean,
Nick Jones, that kind of runner who will keep prying, probing, and then he'll break one.
He will eventually break one. Yeah, it's last year when we were in Division 1, we had all our backs were averaging 7-8 yards of carrying. You're just not going to get that at this level. The defenders are better at reading the better. You're going to see better schemes. So just sometimes you just have to grind and take what you give. Take what you're given.
Absolutely. So 3rd and 3. This is where the Falcons need to get better. This is where we need them to convert on these sorts of downs, not taking it to 4th. And that one is bobbled and caught, I think. Yes, it is caught. So a nice completion there.
So
and the Leicester Falcons,
Kildy one there.
Yeah, Kildy one.
Who's University of Nottingham player. I believe that's the end of the half, end of the quarter.
You called it, Guy. That is the end of the quarter. We just watched that completion, which is good news. So at the end of the quarter, it is Manchester 7, Leicester 0. But Leicester held them on 4th down on the incomplete pass. Now, they get a 1st down on 3rd down. So they're beginning to move. I'm seeing some life here from the Green Machine.
Yeah, absolutely. And people like Akil, it's one of the reasons why you recruit as hard as you do and have try and get as big a squad as you are. For situations like this, we've lost. We had Dira GB who had a dislocated elbow against Tamworth. We've had various other receivers who have been injured as well. And you have to keep these guys engaged because you're going to need them in down the stretch.
And how active are you, Guy, when if say a player goes down, like a quarterback goes down, or you lost the possibility of playing those scholarship athletes? Are you immediately on the phone trying to find a replacement? I know you rang Brad and got him out of retirement.
We got Brad out of retirement for one game, and he would have loved to have stayed on, but like with everything else, when it's an amateur sport, you have to put your family commitments first.
So Abansky on 1st down. Leicester driving, albeit from their own half, as Abansky looks deep, lofts one up. 2 receivers there. And it's incomplete. It was 2 green receiver jerseys there against 1 defender. It was tipped by the defender and it just couldn't drag it down. Let's look at the replay.
It's good play action there by Marcus, holds the defenders. And again, he's got separation. And I think he's unlucky there. DB did just enough there to get
DB did really well. We teach him to play that kind of monkey in the middle, because if you've got two receivers going deep, defensive back against 1.
Offense, number 69.
And it would have been coming back
half the distance to the goal, repeat 1st down.
Yeah, you're quite right. So defender does well, but you're right, it would have come back anyway. So
producer's just giving me a telling off there.
So the referee makes the call, and that one is going to come back to Leicester. So 2nd and 20 this time. Sorry, 1st and 20. And this one's going nowhere.
Yeah, I think this is where the Falcons struggle when there's behind the sticks as they are, with a long yardage. It's not an explosive type of offense where you can get those big gains. So I think they'll struggle in this situation. They're going to get themselves out into a position to make a bit more room.
Yeah, it's a loss of half a yard or a yard there from Patterson. He's trying to find some ground. But as you say, the pressure builds now as these downs tick away, don't they? 2nd, 3rd down, you backed up in your own end zone. You can almost feel that end zone behind you.
Yeah, the key thing is not to do anything silly and make a mistake and give up of a touchdown, which we've done a couple of times this year.
2nd and 20. Abansky keeps it himself, comes to his right-hand side and comfortably gets out of bounds, picks up about 2. So it's 3rd and a long way this one. What do? Do you just hand it off and get a few yards, or do you go for it?
Well, my opinion would always be to go for it, but you've got to be careful not to do something that is counterproductive, that can actually put your defense in a hole. So you don't want to be giving up an interception or a sack here. That's the key thing. So I would probably go with a play action pass and be very conservative, and if it's not there, put it out and live to fight another day.
2 running backs in. This time Abansky is going to roll to his left, and he goes for Burton, but just out of the stretched arms of Danny Burton. Did his best there, but just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we talked about there. It was a great play action and the roll, and a little bit more accuracy there, and that would have been a solid first down.
Yeah, right by the sticks as well. So unlucky there not to connect on that one. But it's going to bring up 4th down. They will not be punting from the end zone, hopefully. So, well, actually on the 10-yard line they might be. Yeah, I think Danny is going to be in his own end zone. So you're going to need to be careful with this one.
Yeah, and the centre's got to hold his nerve not to put it into Leicester somewhere behind him.
Titans overloading the right-hand side. They do bring pressure. Burton gets it away. It's a nice kick as well.
Good
Takes
low
a good
kick.
Bounce.
Yeah, that's a great
and gets
kick.
out of bounds, and it's into their half. So well done, Danny Burton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you the tempted to put a lot of height on there, but then you want to get depth. But the more height you get on it, and the more depth you get, it gives the returner a lot more time to return the ball. So like that, which is a line drive positional punt, I think is a great job and a great outcome.
All right, so Manchester are going to take over this one with 1st down. We're into the 2nd quarter now, early into the 2nd quarter. Still a 7-0 game. Leicester did better on that drive than we've seen them so far. They managed to get a conversion and a new set of downs. Unfortunately, that penalty pushed them back. But there is life in Leicester, and we are still 7-0 into this 2nd quarter. Bloomfield now takes the snap, and this one's handed off to the right-hand side. The running back does find a seam and picks up 13 big chunk yards there for Ryan Newton.
Yeah, it's great. Again, if you watch on the replay, the right tackle on the right guard, they just kind of collapse that corner, and it's just he's 5 yards downfield before he's having to think about contact.
So that's Liam Twig, number 64, and Owen Smith, number 71, of that offensive line, just bullying this Falcons defensive line off the ball on that one. And there is an injured player down as Desi runs on. She's had a lot of action this season as well.
She has, yeah.
In terms of the physio stuff.
A little shout out for Desi. She's a very accomplished strong woman. Competes in strong woman events. So arguably probably the strongest person on the squad. And she does a great job with us. And having great medical provisions is essential to try and keep everybody going.
So we'll just get this player sorted out. Gives us a chance to mention the sponsors of Leicester Falcons.
Well, yeah, we can mention all of those. Or Southall & Co, one of the our great sponsors.
Yeah, bespoke specialist law firm in the heart of Leicester. They're born out of a long-standing West Midlands practice, and they're a progressive, dynamic East Midlands law firm now. Their goal is to be one of the leading commercial boutique law firms, not only in the Midlands, but the entirety of England and Wales. They want you as a client to be a client for a long time, and they want you to understand your business as it is now, but more importantly how it could be in the future. As a business you have to evolve, and that's what they will help you do. The law is complex, but as lawyers they will simplify it and understand your business needs. So that is Southall & Co, one of the sponsors of the Leicester Falcons, and they have been solid all season.
Yeah, it's very important. A lot of people, a lot of the clubs maybe are a little bit negative towards us with our commercial activity. This is a self-funding sport, so we're very lucky to have some great sponsors. Allows us to. The rumour is that we spend all our money on paying players, which of course is not the case because that would be illegal.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first, exclusive. But what it does do, we have a completely free academy system, so none of our academy players pay membership fees, and that allows us to be able to work with low-income families.
So that's Beckett that came off the field there. Bringing you back to the live action now while they check on Beckett. Trips to the bottom of your screen as the Titans and Bloomfield takes this snap, and again it's Newton on the run, this time to his left hand side, and he is met, but only after he picks up a gain of about 6. It's another good run from him.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to keep grinding that away now. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it's taking a toll on this defence, isn't it? You can see there.
Yeah, I think it was Adam Oliver
there of that left tackle. Just manages to move his man out and open up a lane for Newton.
Yeah, you've got an experienced left tackle there against a rookie end.
Bloomfield this time on 2nd and short gets one out to his right slot, James Nunes, who's been busy, and that gives him the first down.
Yeah, again, simple play, roll out, gets the first down. It's not rocket science. It's just well executed. That's been ran thousands and thousands of times on the practice field, no doubt.
And how do you stop that if you're a defender? I mean, what's Rob going to say to them to kind of stop those smaller, shorter passes?
Well, he's got to change his scheme, change his offense, and maybe disrupt the timing. Would be key.
This time Newton's in motion to the left, and they hand it off to the running back running in the other direction. A couple of quick jinks and burst back into the middle, and that's the second touchdown of the day. And that one is Ryan Newton, who ended up going to his right hand side, breaks it back all the way across the field, and takes it in under the posts for the second score.
Yeah, it's just good athleticism. He makes the first couple of guys miss, and then from that point he's in clear space and just makes it to the end zone.
So a tough series of downs as you watch Newton dance his way, and again when those defenders are kind of racing after the football, often you can find a running back will cut back against the grain and find yourself out of position. That's what Newton did on that one.
Over pursuing, he ended up pushing through arm tackles.
So the kicker Aaron Balcott kicks it up, and it's good. No penalties on this one, and the Titans go to a 2-score lead, 14-0.
It does, and just looking at the score from the other game in this division, we've got Tamworth leading Mersey 6-0 at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, good shout, Guy. That is another critical game for this division. And Merseyside at home at that one, I think.
No, it's at Tamworth.
Is it at Tamworth?
Yeah. Oh no, it's at Mersey.
At Merseyside.
Yeah.
So they play on that AstroTurf. It does seem to make their offence faster, when they play on grass, because they do have a speed offence to Merseyside. So I was interested to see that score, but Tamworth have taken an early lead.
Yeah, it's kind of I guess we need. I'm kind of rooting for Tamworth on that one, because for us next week is the most. Next week everybody plays everybody, and the key game for us will be we're up against Edinburgh away, and then Sheffield have got Mersey at home, and for us we need Sheffield to win that game, so they put on a strong performance.
All right, as we get to the kickoff after that score, Nick Jones is going to field this one. He's going to try and get up the middle, then breaks to his right hand side. Good blocking ahead of him, but the Titans do finally bundle him out of bounds right by our camera. So you got some good sound on that one of Premiership hits going in.
Yeah, pop, pop, pop. That's what we're looking for.
Flags have gone down on that one, so we'll hear from the referee in a second.
You have the option to either 5 yards and retake or 5 yards tap dog.
I'll give a shout out to Pete Sandham. Just rocked up.
You could hear actually just
At
before
the kickoff, offside, the kicking team, number 13, 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Leicester ball, first down.
So it was offside against the Titans there. You could actually hear from our camera microphone, Alex down there on the sideline, you could hear the options being given to the Leicester Falcons. But now we have 1st and 10. So let's see if the Leicester Falcons can respond. They're 14-0 down. They did make some good yards on the last drive. They got a first down as they hand this one off to to Patterson, who tries to dance his way, but that Titans defense runs him all the way out to the sideline for no gain.
Yeah, they just stretch the play out nicely, and the sideline becomes their friend.
Yeah, it was nice. Patterson trying to find the edge there, but you can see just blue jerseys, and they just escort him across that white line, as you say, Guy.
And again, just shows the importance of that initial point of attack block that needs to be. If you don't get that right, then everything else kind of falls away, and you're just stretching the play laterally at that point.
So Abansky now 2nd and 14. Patterson lost yards on that one. This time Abansky rolls to his left, and he's incomplete on that one. Difficult to roll to your left and then throw with your right hand, isn't it? Is it a skill that you've been working on with Abansky?
Abansky's is a bit of an anomaly, really. He's you can take that last one away, but he's actually far more accurate when he's throwing on the move than he is when he's in the pocket. So we've been trying to give him some more options to be able to throw on the move. Which is why you're going to see a little bit more of these rollout passes. And there he had an easy completion there, and he should have really made that, which would have been a solid kind of 8-yard gain, I think. So again, now we're at 3rd and 15, and we're behind the sticks again. Will we go for that rollout pass again, which nearly completed last time? What do you think, Carl?
Let's see how this one goes. This time Abansky stays in the pocket, and he's going to look towards the receiver, who does make a nice catch. It's going to be a little short, I think, of the first down, but it was a nice pitch and catch. That's Diwan Akil again. Let's have a look on the replay, Guy.
Yeah, it breaks down well nicely. Ball's there, protects it well. It's a good job, but it's you've got to be aware of the down and distance.
Nice camera work there from Alex as well on the sideline to bring us that shot at the reception. Good job. And a nice reception, but it's 4th down, and so Danny Burton is on, close to midfield. Burton is going to kick this one, and will it take a Leicester bounce? It goes straight up in the air. Doesn't look like the Titans want any part of that one, and it is going to be downed at the 21-yard line, which is where the Titans will take over. So again, Leicester doing some, making ground, making plays, but not enough to give them a fresh set of downs. Yeah,
again, I think if they didn't put themselves behind the sticks on the first play, and then they complete the easy dump pass, that would be a very different scenario. So they've got to do the simple things well, and that's the difference between the two teams right now.
We hope you're enjoying the coverage here. Do get in touch with us. The hashtag is LEI versus MAN. You can tweet us your views on the game so far in this critical northern encounter. One of these teams playing for playoff football, the other one looking to stay up in the Prem, as the Titans quarterback rolls to his right and looks for that underneath. The defender's right there, but it looks like it was caught, and that's George Slade again.
It's so hard to defend because it's you've got to be aware of the QB taking off.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to look at as a defense, isn't there? This time Bloomfield to his left, and that one's incomplete. Right down here close to our sideline, we had a good shot at that one. Bloomfield under pressure that time, and that was better from the Falcons. When the quarterback's under pressure like that, obviously accuracy becomes an issue.
I think the key thing they've got to try and stop them making bigger gains on first down, give them the second and third long situations, so it kind of negates that easy dump off.
3rd down. Let's see if Leicester can hold him here. Play action. Bloomfield goes to the air, and Beckett almost with a pick. James Beckett just in and out of his hands.
Oh, it was Adam Oliver. He was injured earlier there. It's okay. 2s and 4s are hard to differentiate.
I've got 2 44s. What is Beckett in another number?
Beckett is in number 42.
Okay, I'll get that changed. So apologies to there. It was Adam Oliver, as you said, and a nice play from Adam Oliver to deny them the reception.
Yeah, just he got himself in the right position, read run first, and then dropped into coverage.
Back to the live action on the punt. It's a nice kick, it's a high kick. The coverage gets under it, and it takes a Titans bounce that is picked up by number 20 on the Leicester Falcons. And then he scoots out of bounds before any damage can be done.
Manny is who took that ball there. He's a great player, but he does make you pull your hair out at sometimes. He does those crazy little things.
Makes his own decisions.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach, I knew what I was doing, Coach. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because in his head he wants to be a playmaker, and me personally, I never discourage that because it's. That can be the difference. You don't want robots out there.
Yeah, and it's part of the character of the game. I think you're right.
Just going on to the special teams earlier, I think the Manchester special teams coach would have been disappointed with the last punt field that took place. So I think the returner had plenty of time, and he just he could have come onto the ball at speed and would have taken it back to quite some yards.
1st and 10 now from Leicester Falcons 26-yard line. (14-0) game. 2 scores from these Titans, but they were held on 4th down there as Abansky, under all sorts of pressure, tries to throw the ball out of bounds in the end. Had options to get rid of it and just hurl it out of bounds earlier, and we'll see what the referees are going to say here.
I think they'll mark that where the ball went out of bounds. They'll see it as a fumble as opposed to a...
So Abansky playing dangerously there, and I suppose the difference between, I don't know, like Bucks football and Prem football, where the defenders are just that little bit faster, so you think you've got more time than you actually have as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's got to be able to, he's got to be smart there and just launch it. You know, the kid's got a great arm, so throw it to us over here. That would have been the better option.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's now 2nd and, I don't know, like 10, 20, like 30 yards, 2nd and 30. So that mistake by Bansky really costly for this Leicester Falcons offence, and backed up with their end zone 10 yards behind them. Let's see what they can do now. 2nd down. Bansky's just going to hand this one off, and it's tough yards up the middle. The Titans are acting as if the ball has come out. No signal yet from the referees.
I think forward momentum was halted there. I can see what the OC Simon Juniper was thinking there. You defenders are going to be defending the deep, and you try and catch them out with a draw play, but Manchester were wise to that.
They look good on defence to these Manchester. It was Cade Makin, actually, the defensive lineman, that was chasing Abansky down and forced him to just a kind of force fumble out of bounds, really.
And again, you wouldn't necessarily look at them and say there's any particular standout athletes, but what defence does very well, they work together as a unit and they're athletic.
Absolutely. So it's 3rd and a long way. They did make some yards on that play, but still a long way to go on 3rd down. Let's see what Abansky and the Falcons dial up on this one, and what pressure the Titans bring. Long hold on the snap, they get the ball up, and this one's handed off, and the Titans are all over it. So building momentum there from the mistake by Abansky. They're going to bring up 4th down and a long way.
Yeah, I think that's disappointing, because they got the ball back in good field position on the 25, and now they're kicking from their own end zone again. So they've got to cut out those mistakes that put them in difficult situations.
I think it was Chase Johnston who was the first man there, the safety, to drag Nick Jones down for that loss. And again, Burton finds himself in his own end zone, punting. Did a good job last time, managed to get it in the Titans half. Let's see what he can do here. Again, all the pressure on these Falcons. Some movement there. I think that may be against the Falcons, unfortunately, but we'll see.
Dead ball prior to the snap. False start. Offense number 85. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 4th down.
So from bad to worse for these Falcons on this drive.
Yeah, there's nothing like kicking yourself while you're down.
Absolutely. So another 5 yards added on, and we can see the sticks from here, and it's in my estimation that is a lot of yards.
It's a small Uber journey.
It's considerable. As Burton, that's going to go for a safety. So the snap over the head of Danny Burton, and the pressure just too much, and out it goes out the back of the end zone.
I wouldn't be surprised if Danny was planning on stepping out the back of the end zone anyway. If you're under the sticks like that, rather than kicking the ball away and giving the ball on your own 25-yard line, give up the 2 points, and then re-kick them, and put them in a stronger field position. Give the defense a chance.
Yeah, that makes sense, Guy.
Because Danny looked as if he just wasn't interested in that, and I don't think it was that far away from him. So if it was going out, it was going out. He may have just decided just to leave it alone.
It does mean that the Titans get another 2 points on the board, takes their score now to 16 points to Manchester, nothing to Leicester. And of course on the safety they get the ball back as well. So
they do. but again, it's still it's still a 2-score game if you get the 2-point conversions. And again, like we said earlier, it gives Leicester's defence better field position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Providing they execute this kickoff.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where you then have it ran all the way back.
Yeah. So let's see what Danny's going to do here. I don't know, some kickers have different attitudes to this, but he does have to punt it. Can't just kick it off the turf. But he does get to hold it himself, doesn't have to take a snap. It's a good kick. Takes a nice bounce over the head of the receiver and bounces into the end zone. So that will come out to the 20-yard line, but a nice kick from that distance.
Yeah, and again, it's surprising the returner didn't make an effort to come forward and take that. He had plenty of time. Yeah, he's just this. But that's the difference. That's what Manchester do well. They don't make mistakes. So rather than risk fumbling the catch, he take a conservative option. They get the ball on the 20 and they mount another drive. And I'm sure they'll be looking to get another score before the half ends.
Yeah, and that's just good awareness, isn't it, from the players? You know, don't need to. We're 16-0 up. Just let it bounce in, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That just comes with experience. That was George Slade who didn't do anything in the end. Let the ball bounce into the end zone. But it was a nice kick from Danny Burton. So Titans will take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Bloomfield been good so far today. Accurate, doesn't make mistakes, as we've talked about. 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom as Leicester threaten blitz. This one's going to be handed away from the blitzing player. And it's Newton again with another pickup on 1st down of about 14. So we've seen that play a number of times now, but Leicester don't seem to have an answer to it.
Yeah, again, it's just running that off tackle off to the right, and the right side of the line are just dominating now.
And is it defensive line? You said earlier in the game, you can see it here actually, that's a nice shot in terms of the offensive line. There's the handoff, and we're back to the live action anyway. And this one is up the middle with Newton again as he busts a few tackles and finds some space on that right-hand side. Has to be dragged down eventually, but only after he picks up another 1st down. And these Titans getting this running game rolling now.
Yeah, I think you've got some guys going both ways. You've got rookie defensive line. They're just starting to wear them down now. And I don't think you'll see them going to the air much now. I think they're just going to keep driving it down.
Here's the replay. Newton again up the middle, and as you say, spin move.
There he goes.
Out to the right hand side. Back to the live action now as Bloomfield to Nunes, and he picks up 8 yards before he's pulled down. So these Titans now in this hurry up offense moving quickly down the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we've got left in the half. They seem to be moving with urgency.
See that running play from Newton there on your screen again. That spin move. And eventually pulled down. It was a nice tackle in the end.
Yeah, clearly a Madden fan.
It was Bamiola Parna that had to drag him down. You're watching live action now, 2nd and 1. Bloomfield takes the ball, hands this one off again. And that's going to be another 1st down.
Again, smart play calling, just doing enough to get the 1st down.
And that's Pangago on the run. I'm sorry, that was Axel Fallenpin on the run there. First time we've seen him.
I think his parents were Guns N' Roses fans.
Bloomfield, right hand side, looks to loft one over the top, but it's too much for James Nunes to run under.
Yeah, again, it's that rollout pass, trying to get the defenders to bite and come up and leave one-on-one coverage behind, and Manny did a good job there of not biting on it.
So can the Leicester Falcons hold them out? They've done it before. To keep it a close game, if you're a neutral and you want a competitive game, obviously you'll be hoping they do. It's 16-0 currently to the Titans, threatening again, but they're 2nd and 10 after that incompletion on 1st down. So Bloomfield now with 2 receivers to the top and bottom of your screen, 1 running back in. This time he's going to go to that receiver, and that's well defended. Well read, and read all the way by number 25.
Joel Gregoire.
Nice play by Gregoire on that one.
I've known Joel for a good 10-15 years, still struggle pronouncing his last name. I just can't help myself to be flamboyant with it.
Gregoire.
Exactly.
It deserves it, that sort of play. It deserves some flamboyance. It was nicely read. I could see him from here. He saw it coming, and he was like a laser straight on that receiver. Good job by Joel. Motion this time. not handed off. Bloomfield fakes the handoff twice. Now he's going to take to his own set, and he manages to stiff arm 2 Leicester Falcons players, cuts back against the grain, and Bloomfield showing his legs and showing the Leicester Falcons he's got some life as well.
Again, disappointing there. They had him bang to rights, short for the stop, and he sticks out a big forearm, a big stiff arm, and extends the play and gets the first down.
Yeah, as a defender, you don't want to say you got stiff arm by the quarterback. It's the last thing you want to happen. So,
well, technically he's a running back at that stage, so you'll be able to say you got stiff arm by the fullback.
2 minutes in the half. Leicester has 2 timeouts remaining.
Here we go, we're just watching on the screen now.
Manchester, you have
nowhere
2
to go
timeouts
really
remaining.
in the end. It just has to take to his legs, which he does. Stiff arm there, and then another one. Manages to come back towards the field and finally pulled down. But does go for the first down. In terms of the game now, 2 minutes to go. Titans are going to want to get something in before the half, but maybe that opens up an opportunity for a pick or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you'll see 4 solid plays here. I don't think they don't want to leave any time left.
Little shovel underneath this time on the end around, and that's well defended. They string it out. Adam Edwards this time in pursuit, along with number 42 James Beckett, I believe, on the tackle there. So
yeah, and I think if you see a 4th down here, I think you'll see them kick it, depending on the down and distance on the distance. But yeah, if they can 2 more plays like that. 2nd and
7, Bloomfield rolling to his right, gets the completion, and that is another completion to Newton, who's very close to a first down. Very close to the end zone as well on that one. Now, are they going to give a first down? No, they're going to say 3rd down. All right, so technically they could have 1st and goal if they convert this without scoring, but let's see what they dial up.
I think you see the QB right up the middle there.
Empty set. Bloomfield takes it, and he is going to go up the middle. You called it. And he takes it all the way in for the 3rd touchdown of these Manchester Titans. So they score again, and that'll be disappointing for these Leicester Falcons because it's so close to the end of the half. But that was a nice concerted drive, lots of running there and lots of energy, and Bloomfield really made things happen with his feet on that critical play.
Yeah, great game management. They took a lot of time off the clock, left the Falcons with nothing to no time really to respond, and they're just controlling the game now.
So they take the score to 22-0. This will be for 23. They fake it, go to the right-hand side, and Slade takes it in for 2. So adding salt to the wound of this score, they decide to go for 2, and the holder just steps up and gets the ball out to Slade.
Yeah, I think so.
Titans having their way now.
Yeah, and it's also they've got 3 scores now. They can start to work on things. It becomes almost an extended practice session, really.
So what can the Falcons do to kind of pull this one back? Is there anything they can do? Is it now just time to batten down the hatches, try some stuff you haven't tried before?
I think you're going to see. I think they've got to stop that run on defense. So maybe they're going to have to go a little bit more run heavy on their defense, which will leave them exposed. But in the minute they're having to face 2nd and short on a regular basis, so they've got to try and stop that. Offensively, they've just got to cut down the mistakes and do the simple things well. I think they have the ability to move it. They're just like say shooting themselves in the foot.
You're watching a clash between the Manchester Titans and the Leicester Falcons, and right now the Titans have got a grip on this one. It's 24-0 as we head towards the end of this first half. Nick Jones fielding that kickoff after the score. Again, looks to get some gap up the middle, and he does find a seam. What can Nick do in open space? And the kicker has to make the tackle as the flag comes in, and Nick Jones is furious.
Yeah, it's dangerous there. This isn't soccer. You can't slide in with your feet there, and that can be very dangerous, and they'll be tacking 15 on the end of this, which then changes the dynamic of this a little bit.
It does, because that means that the Leicester Falcons, if this does, as we predict, go against the Titans for that tackle, it's going to mean that the Falcons have got really good field position to try something just before the end of this half.
Yeah, they'll get the ball on around about the 30-yard line, I think.
So Nick Jones bringing some excitement and some pace to the special teams return. Here you can see how furious Nick was.
Yeah,
Obviously, he's
because-
had a long career as a player and doesn't want to pick up a stupid injury off the back of something like that.
No, I've seen people get their tib fib broken that way, and yeah, I'm sure there was no malice meant by the Manchester player. Maybe he just plays a little bit too much soccer in the winter.
Saw Nick Jones actually at the GB practice that was down at the BAFA conference. So
Yeah, he's
making an impact there as well.
Yeah, he's a talented guy, and he helps the younger guys. We've got a very young team now, and shout out
During
to
the
our
return,
academy.
tripping 15 of the kicking team. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, Leicester.
Yeah, I think Nick with his experience of playing in Europe as well brings more of a professional attitude, and the guys can learn from him.
Absolutely, and good to see him make a play like that in this game. Give Falcons some hope. And you were absolutely right with your calculations, Guy, about the 30-yard line you said, and so it is. And that'll give the Falcons a chance to get this ball into the end zone. Let's see what Abansky can do here. We know he's got an arm.
Yeah, depending on time, how much time's left, I'd imagine around about a minute, if that.
Abansky gets it out to his left. It's kind of just fumbled the snap a little bit, didn't he, there?
Yeah,
Couldn't
fumbled
get
the
hold.
snap and didn't move his feet, and the whole mechanics broke down.
And that's a couple of times you've seen that from Abansky in previous games as well.
Yeah,
I mean, presumably that's something which the Falcons he's aware of and he's working on.
Yeah, and unfortunately he lost his QB coach when we lost all the others.
Right. So it brings up second, no harm done. Second down, 2nd and 10. The dying seconds of this half. Abansky with the play action goes across the middle, and it's well defended in the end.
Yeah,
So Danny Burton just couldn't get his body the right side of the defender.
Yeah, the defender didn't look back, but the ball was underthrown, so there was no risk of any kind of interference call. There was a little bit more on that, and I think the defender would have been in trouble.
Yeah, 3rd and 10 now. So this really now, these 2 downs, I guess this is 2 down territory.
Yeah, you've got to really take 2 shots here.
So we'll see what Abansky can do here. See if we can get one of those receivers behind a defender. Abansky taking his time now. The pressure comes from 51. Abansky uses his feet to escape and tightrope walks up the sideline. But he's only going to get a gain of about 2 that time. That's going to mean it's 4th and 6. So it looks like the Falcons are going to go for this one, I would have thought. Abansky's still on the field.
The question is, are they going to keep the 2 backs in to protect, or are they going to go for more of an empty set to give themselves some more targets? And it looks to be the former of those 2 options.
Both running backs in, as you say. 1 receiver to the bottom, 2 to the top. Abansky goes to the single receiver. It's right by the sticks, and it depends how they spot this.
I think they're going to call that a first down by the looks of it.
Very close to the marker, and it looks like he's just.
They're signalling that Leicester called a timeout right at the point that ball was caught, which was fair enough. Now we're going to find out whether or not this one is going to be a first down or not. They're talking about
where the
mark.
sideline judges and where Coach Kazara is. That looks to be just past first down.
They're going to go the other way. They're going to give it to Manchester and a controversial call.
I've been insisting on a measure there.
It looked this side, and we are right by the sticks. It looked this side like that was a first down to Leicester, but the other side of the field seemed to mark it slightly shorter. When they met in the middle, it ended up it wasn't.
Yeah, but you've got to go with the referee on this side, who was where the ball was caught. So
I would have thought that. I would have agreed with you. So I think a controversial call there. Abansky still thinks he's on the field. He's running onto the field, and now he's just being told, no, it's the Titans' ball.
I think it's certainly worthy of a measure, that's for sure.
Anyway, it's the Titans that have the ball after that play. This time a flag gone down. And I'm not sure whether this is going to be an illegal substitution call for Abansky running on the field.
12 men on defence prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And that seems very unfair, doesn't it? I mean, Abansky runs on, thought he was on offence, runs on to make a play, gets flagged for 12 men on the field, and the Titans now with a 1st and 5. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom. This time Bloomfield is in the pocket with lots of time, and that's nice defending. Well, it was nice defending until the flag came in. We'll see what the flag is.
A very harsh call if that's on off the pass interference.
That's Joel Gregoire again, which I thought was good defending. Comes in, bats the ball down.
James Beckett was just struggling to get back up there. I think he'll have to come and take a play out.
Just watching the replay here, you can see Gregoire gets a little bit of the ball, but we didn't actually see on the camera what happened before that. But number 6 was complaining. That's Adam Bamba, the receiver, who was complaining about pass interference, and he does get the call.
Pass interference, defence. A spot foul will be an automatic first down.
So back-to-back penalties. First 12 men on the field, now the pass interference, and the Titans in the dying seconds of this half finding their way close to Leicester Falcons territory. Just getting those chains ready.
Yeah, I think we've seen a controversial series of plays there with the completion by the Falcons. It was not given as a first down, and I think again, close call.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't gone the Falcons' way, has it? This last few plays, as George Slade picks one up from Bloomfield's throw right at the 18-yard line and trots out of bounds. And again, these Titans now looking to get another score as George Slade manages to escape the defender and get behind him.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that you get some calls, like you had two close calls, and it just it deflates the defence and changes the momentum. And you think you're going into the half, and you've got to come back out there and put another stand.
All right, so the Titans now looking to consolidate their lead and grow their lead, and they do look to the end zone. No pressure. Bloomfield's under absolutely no pressure, and they've given the touchdown. So that is George Slade with the 4th score, and that is another 6 points to this Manchester Titans.
I think that's just going to completely deflate the Falcons now. I think pretty much, I'd imagine that was pretty much as time expired. So yeah, it's going to be
well, look at it here. There we go. I mean, Bloomfield under no pressure at all, just rolls to his right, and Slade just finds the corner of the end zone there and just does enough to dive and catch that one. Yeah,
it's they're also going to be trying to defend the end zone in that situation with the time. Just didn't have a too tight defence.
All right, so that PAT is up and over, and that will take the scores to 31 to nothing.
Time expired on the previous play. That's the end of the half.
All right, so that is the end of the half with the Manchester Titans 31 and the Leicester Falcons 0. We are going to take a quick break at the half, and then we'll join you for some half-time analysis. And of course, we've got the second half coming up. We'll see you after these breaks. We'll see you after these ads.
And we'll be back in 15 minutes.
Dragonfly Productions are a full-service live event production company. We can cater for all your event needs with a turnkey solution, or can support you with individual needs. We can supply production design, on-site production management, environmental design, scenic design, exhibition design and build, audio-visual design and delivery, and global support. We offer international reach and experience with partners on every continent, so quality is always assured, in-house branding and design capabilities, an in-house scenic workshop, and an in-house video production team. From a small meeting to a large symposium, your meeting will get the same attention to detail. Dragonfly Productions.
Welcome back to Blaby in Leicester, and you've just met us in the we're just in half time now. The score is 31 to Manchester Titans and 0 to the Leicester Falcons. It's been a disappointing half for the Falcons. I'm joined by Guy Kersey. Hi Guy, welcome to the half-time show. Yeah, good to see you. Thanks very much for joining me in the commentary booth today. And so it's a disappointing half, really, wasn't it, for the Falcons?
It is. It started off brightly. I mean, they're a weakened team out there, and that's no excuse. But they were working hard. They were playing hard. And I think towards the end there, I think they just got fatigued, and it's just taking the toll a little bit.
So 4 scores for these Manchester Titans. Let's talk you through them a little bit. I mean, they came out strong, did the Manchester Titans, as we thought they would, and off that opening drive, I think Leicester Falcons got the ball first, weren't able to really get anything going on that first opening drive, were they?
Yeah, I mean, they made a couple of first downs, and again, the story of the year and the story of today's game is much the same. They're just not doing the simple things well, putting themselves in difficult positions, and the same thing happened kind of on that play as well. And twice they went for fourth and shorts, and tried to bully them up the middle, and they're not going to do that against this front four. Yeah,
the Titans were strong on that first down, fourth down attempt. Turned Abansky away, and then he drove down the field, did the Titans, and that first score went in, I believe, by Nunes. It was that run, it was the kind of shovel pass underneath and then the run to the end zone. So smart play calling.
Yeah, again, it's very hard to defend in that situation. They defense did the best they could. They stretched it out, but they got good point of attack blocking. Got downfield, got people moving backwards, and he just has to be patient and pick his gap then at that point.
Absolutely, it was 7-0 at that point, and we thought the Falcons could come back. But again, they're taken again to fourth down, and that second fourth down attempt, we expected a different play call, I think, rather than Abansky up the middle.
Yeah, I think that's a case of overthinking it a little bit. I'm thinking that they're thinking that we're thinking that they're thinking. Just run the play, the best play you can, and I think they just need to get a bit more creative in that situation.
Titans got the ball back, and actually it was the first time that the Falcons were able to turn them away, because they did have that third down conversion that they tried to get. It was a nice play by the Leicester Falcons defence in their own Manchester Titans' own territory, and they had to punt.
Yeah, and I think that kind of put a little bit of momentum back their way for a while, and I think we saw a couple of good stops after that, and but you've got to keep that up for 4 quarters, unfortunately.
Yeah, we thought the Falcons would have a little bit of momentum coming in. Unfortunately, did go back to the Manchester Titans, and they drove down the field. The second scorer, I believe, was Newton on a run. Again, strong play up the middle this time.
Yeah, again, it was just a good athleticism, good organisation. As we said on commentary, that's what Manchester do. They're just very well disciplined. They don't have an expansive playbook, but what they do it very well.
Abansky did his best, as did Nick Jones, trying to get the running game going, and did in certain points, but not able to break anything. This Titans defence is a tough defence to break down.
Yeah, they've shown glimpses, and they've been making some completions, and they're doing some things well, but they're just not doing enough of them in consecutive order, and the mistakes are putting them into difficult situations. How many times we've seen them, in behind the sticks, plus 10. On second and third down, and it's hard to then claw that back. And they were kind of doing that, and they had some good opportunities, but just didn't execute.
The next Titans score came from Bloomfield, and really it was his drive. He kind of split their quarterback for the Manchester Titans, played really well. They went to a kind of hurry-up set, and a number of completions as Bloomfield drove, and then that critical play where he stiff-armed a couple of defenders on third down.
Yeah, I think if the defenders had gone low, made that tackle there, it would have left them with a fourth and 7. I doubt they would have gone for it in that situation. They would have either gone for the field goal or punted them into the corner. But that's why you have to keep playing, and it's unfortunate, but they took advantage.
So Bloomfield did well, and then of course he scored on the drive, and he rolls to his right, nothing there after the double play action, and then cuts back to his middle. And you've talked about him as a fullback. Tell us a bit about that.
Bloomfield,
yeah.
Yeah. He's just a smart guy. He is that dual threat QB, and he reads his blocks very well, and he takes what he's given, and that's what you have to do.
Big quarterback as well, Bloomfield. Tricky to get down. It was then 3 scores, and of course, in between that, what happened was the Falcons got pushed all the way back to a 4th and about 30-yard situation from a series of penalties. Poor old Burton having to punt from his end zone again, and this time you think it was a design play, but went over his head. You think, well, they're just going to take the safety at that point.
Yeah, it's something that has been the philosophy, I think, in that situation. With Falcons have done it a few times this year. Whereas, rather than kick the ball away and give the opposition good field position, you step out the back of the end zone. It's hard to say that was going to happen for sure, but the way that Danny kind of didn't really make an effort for the ball, it looked like he was just going to let it happen. So, irrespective of that, the Titans come away with 2 points.
They got the ball back, and in the dying seconds of the half, they really managed to get that long pass to George Slade over the top of the defender, and of course take another one in, and it was Slade actually in the corner of the end zone to take it to 4 touchdowns and the safety, which takes him to the big score line that we see now.
Yeah, I think just prior to that, I think the Falcons had the stuffing knocked out of them. They had a great return on the kickoff. Nick Jones took it into the opposition territory. Falcons are on the 30, and they complete a couple of passes, and on the 4th down, from where we were looking, it looked like it was good for the first, but I was surprised we didn't get a measure at that point. And then there's a controversial pass interference called the next play. So you've gone from being in a good position to being in a very, very negative position. I think that just knocked the stuffing out of them at that point.
And that was the story of the half, folks. So we haven't seen a Leicester Falcons score. What can the Leicester Falcons do from your side? What do they need to do to maybe not even get in, at least be competitive in this game, get a score on the board?
I don't think they need to change a great deal on the offense. They just need to cut out the mistakes and complete and do the simple mechanics well. They've seen they can run the ball, and they can see they can pass the ball. It's just they've just got to keep going and cut out the mistakes. Defensively, they've got to stop the run on first down. It's as simple as that.
And I guess the Titans will be in a good position going into the half. They won't want to change anything, but it maybe they can go deeper into their playbook and try some other stuff that they've got in there.
They'll be having a look on now of keeping players safe. I think they'll be fairly confident they've got this game wrapped up. They want to keep players safe, and they'll be looking at either working on stuff they want to work on for further down the road in the playoffs. And they've got a tough game next week against Tamworth, and they've probably got to win that to be sure of making the playoffs. Or they've got to rely on other results other places. So it's an exciting time for them.
It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I think the last time we looked at the other score, the other big game in this division is obviously the Tamworth against Merseyside. Last time we looked, it was 6-0. Do you have an update on that? It's
still 6-0 on the score stream that what we're seeing, but that doesn't necessarily mean it stayed that way. That'll be a great game, and be interested to see how that comes out. And I think it's going to have a lot of ramifications. They will probably be looking at having one eye on this game and see the score and go. They know they've got to. Mercia know they've got to try and pull a result out. So if they win that game, it puts them in a very strong position for the playoffs. Lose that game, and it goes down to the last day of the year, last game of the season.
Absolutely. So we've got some fascinating games coming up. I think we'll take a quick break there, and then we'll come back to you with some more analysis from Guy, maybe some other questions and about the head coaching position for Leicester Falcons. That's just opened up if you're interested. So we'll see you after this break.
Dragonfly Productions are a full-service live event production company. We can cater for all your event needs with a turnkey solution, or can support you with individual needs. We can supply production design, on-site production management, environmental design, scenic design, exhibition design and build, audio-visual design and delivery, and global support. We offer international reach and experience with partners on every continent, so quality is always assured, in-house branding and design capabilities, an in-house scenic workshop, and an in-house video production team. From a small meeting to a large symposium, your meeting will get the same attention to detail. Dragonfly Productions.
Welcome back everyone to Leicester. We hope you're enjoying the coverage today. Leicester Falcons against the Manchester Titans in the BAFA Premier North. This critical fixture being brought to you by Onside and by UK AFL. And Guy Kersey's joined me back in the booth after the half-time analysis. So we are looking forward to this second half, although it's going to be an interesting one for both of these teams. Manchester Titans, obviously, they're going to be interested in what they can do for the next game, really, now having taken it's very unlikely the Falcons are going to come back. We would hope they would get some scores, but it gives a different context to this game. It means the Titans are probably looking at getting some of their second stringers onto the field, certainly in the fourth quarter, and it means that and it also means that the Leicester Falcons can throw everything at it, really, and try and get a score and do something in this game.
Yeah, you're playing for pride at this point, and again, Falcons are going to make sure they're going to get the guys on as well. We got there Dan Pell, one of our safeties. Rather than sunning himself in Rhodes, he should be sunning himself in Blaby.
This is the advantage of having Guy Kersey sat next to me. He knows all the people that are tweeting in. Come on, Leicester, says Dan, watching from sunny Rhodes. Sorry he's not there. A bit of a comment from Stuart Brown here on this slide tackle. The dangerous tackle, wasn't it? Fantastic slide tackle, 15. You asked me. Yeah, it is. It is, Stuart. If you're playing soccer, not so good if you're playing American football.
Yeah, and I think even that would have got a yellow card in even in soccer. It's going in studs up, you know.
Yeah, and you can see furious Nick Jones was on that play, and rightly so, I think. And that we talked a little bit about that at the half, didn't we? About how that whole series, whilst it got Leicester into that. Into the half of the Manchester Titans, it just didn't work out. We're watching it again, and you can see there it's just
down there. It's also dangerous for himself as well. You know, he's got to be careful. And he's the kicker as well. So you'd think the last thing he'd be doing is
his feet.
Going after trying to bust his own leg. Yeah.
I guess he was thinking, I've got a choice here. I can either just slide tackle Nick Jones or try and tackle him.
Yeah, and he made a business decision there.
Yeah, for himself anyway. So the teams are coming back onto the field now. You can see on the screen with Titans receiving this one. You remember they did win the toss, but they deferred, so they actually get the ball back first to begin this second half, and the Falcons will be on the field defending. So we hope that the Falcons can hold them and will be able to get a score, at least to make it slightly more competitive than it has been up to this point. It's still been entertaining football. It's good to see both of these teams and what they can do.
I think you'll see Manchester's intent now by whoever comes out at quarterback, I think. Just a score update on the Tamworth game. It's Tamworth 13, Mersey 0.
Wow, 13-0. So the Tamworth defence really doing a job on those Merseyside guys, and they can really score points, can Merseyside, especially on that AstroTurf. So it's interesting to see. Yeah,
I think it's going to be... If that's a half-time score, which it probably is there or thereabouts, I think, so it's going to be uphill for for Mersey to get 2 scores back.
Absolutely right.
But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, true enough. And they can score. They can score quickly. We've seen it. We've seen it here when they came and visited Leicester. So let's see how that one plays out. We'll be giving you updates through the second half here, as we get ready to kick off. The weather's slightly less sunny than it was, a bit more cloud cover, so it's a bit cooler here. Probably better for the players. Not so good for my tan though. But
well, you've got that natural dusky look about you anyway, so I don't think you're worrying about that, Carl. It's interesting, like Carl and I. Those that don't know, Carl and I used to bang heads against each other in all those years ago.
We did.
Carl being a middle linebacker, myself being a fullback. We had some collisions over the day. We probably killed many number of brain cells over the years.
We probably have. It's probably showing during the commentary, actually. So Leicester Falcons, Nottingham Caesar days, rivalry, and it was a Midlands rivalry that still. Well, if you were in the same division, I guess it would still be going on today.
Yeah,
the Falcons are now obviously in this Premiership class and looking to stay there.
Yeah, I think as well for the Falcons, it's going to be a case of they have to be a little bit careful of keeping a focus for the Edinburgh game, because that's the important one now for sure.
Slade finds some room to his right and then to his left, and the Falcons have to rally this time off Danny Burton's kick. So that's a nice return from Slade, George Slade, who's had that touchdown at the end of that first half.
Yeah, so again, he came forward to take that one, and he can gives himself a bit more time to be able to run then.
So the Titans will get the ball at good field position to start this one. They're going to be at the 40-yard line. It's a 90-yard field, so they're close to that Leicester Falcons territory already. Let's see how they come out. They're bringing all their starters back onto the field, and I guess it's too early to have backup players, even if you are 31 points ahead. It's too early for that.
You don't want to make a mistake this year, but
so let's see what Bloomfield has here. They would like to open these first downs with a run, but we'll see whether they've made any adjustments. And commentators curse. They go with the pass, and that's a nice little floating pass. Had the motion of number 6 and then out into the wing, and he completes.
Yeah, if you see, we talked to this earlier about the Falcons have got to make some effort to stop that first down run, and they were playing very box heavy then. So but then you run the risk of being beaten like that on that pass.
That was Adam Bamber, number 6 on the reception. This time it's a run up the middle from number 26, and he's going to take that one all the way in. So it's the second play of the drive, and Ryan Newton takes it all the way up the middle, right up the gut, off some misdirection of Bloomfield, and they're going to add another 6 to their score.
Yeah, I think it's going to become a long half for the Falcons now. That score puts it into a running clock situation, which is, and that's just good point of attack blocking, and running back making a quick decision, quick cut, and backing himself.
So it's all going the Titans' way now here, and that takes the score to 36-0. If they tap this one over, it's 37. So we'll see how they do on the PAT. This time they do kick it, they don't go for 2, and this one is up, and it is good. So that will take the score to 37-0. And you can tell by the 38-0, I'm sorry. So you can see how small the Falcons squad is, and that wasn't the state of play at the beginning of the season. What has happened since the start of the season?
Well, like I say, we've had a lot of injuries, which is, which you kind of factor into, which is why you have a big squad. We had some guys move away, relocate, and it was the team. The guys that joined the team at the beginning of the year in the pre-season. It's a very different organisation now. We still stand by what we say. We're a progressive organisation that's trying to, you bring the best talent into this country to be able to help and develop these guys, and that was taken away from us. And a lot of those players who wanted to be part of that decided that they didn't want to be part of that anymore, and we've lost probably 20-30 guys because of that, and and it's disappointing.
Sure, on the replay there, the score, some nice camera work again. This one's a short kick after the score, and it's going to go out of bounds. So Falcons will get the choice here whether they want the ball at the 40 or whether they want it re-kicked.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about an onside kick at 38-0.
Yeah. They did try that earlier in the half, didn't they, when Adam Edwards had to go up and try and field it, and it went out of bounds. Now, whether it's just part of what they do or whether they are.
The previous one was after a penalty though, which put the ball on the halfway line, so I would understand that. But it's all about scoring points, so fair play to them.
So the Falcons will come on the field. They want to get something on the board.
Illegal procedure on the kicking team. Free kick out of bounds untouched. Leicester have taken the option of 5 yards from the out of bounds spot. It'll be first down, Leicester.
I think that's the right decision to make. Gives them good field position around about the halfway line.
Yeah, absolutely. It is good field position for these Falcons now. Single safety back for these Titans. Maybe Abansky will try and go somewhere deep, and he does. Looking to go deep, and that one is nearly picked and dropped right in front of the booth here. So that was number 7, Ryan Allen, the cornerback, who managed to break that one up.
Yeah, he's got to either hit that earlier or go deeper. He's kind of putting in the sweet spot for this corner and the safety there. giving the time for the safety to get across.
Trying to get the ball to Bartu Martel Philippe, or Philippe Bartu Martel rather, I should say, get his name right.
Yes, it's one of those combinations, for sure.
But at least it shows intent on first down to get down the field, to get a score on the board. Abanski now on second down. This time he hands the ball to Nick Jones, who picks up 3 or 4.
Yeah, the Falcons are doing a reasonable job on the blocking the first level. They're just not getting up to that second level. You're seeing, he's getting that first kind of, being able to make that first cut through the defensive line, but they're just the offensive line just aren't getting up to that second level to be able to take on those linebackers.
It's interesting defensive Titans are running. They run with that single safety kind of cover 3 look, don't they? So they're kind of manning up underneath, and they do have a lot of defenders at the line of scrimmage, which means defending the run is easier. But hopefully Abanski can do something, as he does look to go to the air. Oh, that one is close to being completed, but again it's Philippe Bartu Martel, incomplete.
And again it's that the ball's there, good route by the receiver, just not executing.
Yeah, and it's accuracy. Is it accuracy problems on Abanski's part, or does the receiver just need to put more effort into making a reception?
No, I think that's just an accuracy thing. Again, ironically, I think if he had rolled with it, he probably would have hit that right between the numbers.
So it's a punt situation, unfortunately, for these Leicester Falcons. Again, they're going to have to give the ball back to the Manchester Titans as Danny Burton, and they bring the pressure, but he does get it away. He's been solid, has Danny Burton, as that trickles down to the 9-yard line. So it's a good punt in the end from Burton, who's been one of the bright spots in an otherwise cloudy day for the Falcons.
Yeah, I think the Falcons really needed to put a drive together there and just give the defense some time off. Yeah, it wasn't to be, but they've got to, hopefully get a stop here and then construct some form of drive and eat some of that clock up.
Got to try and stop those big chunk plays, haven't they? They've had success now up the middle against running up the middle early, and that's sort of a worry for the Leicester Falcons defence. But I'm sure Rob Urquhart will have something to say about that and look to respond.
Yeah, we've been seeing it's all hands to the pump now. Abanski in at defensive end.
Well, there you go. I said he had the size of a defensive end. The coach has been listening to me. This one is, they brought in a backup quarterback actually, but it's the same result because it's Newton up the middle. Has he got the speed to break the safeties? Not quite. They do manage to drag him down. That's number 27 with the saving tackle, as Newton tried to split the safeties, but just not enough speed to do that. And it's a nice tackle in the end. That's Joshua Fagan who rallies to the ball and brings him down. Thank you.
The other benefit of obviously having the GM in the booth with you, Carl, is you get
fed.
You get fed.
Look at this. This never happened before.
Cheese and bacon burger there.
Wow, look at that.
The glamorous Mrs. Kersey.
Very good stuff here. So the Titans, we talked about those chunk plays, and again, it's another 30 yards up the field for Newton this time. This time the backup quarterback, that's nearly a very nice one-handed catch, but doesn't make it in the end. A quarterback that's on the field actually, sorry guys, Alex Challens, who's come on at quarterback for the Titans.
I think he went up to make the catch there and thought, oh yeah, I'm probably going to get nailed if I catch this, so maybe I'll let that one go.
Decided against it. That was Adam Bamba with the very nearly one-handed catch.
Henry 7 getting his moves on there.
I know, and he's a big lad, isn't he, as well?
There's a lot of jelly in that trunk.
We got motion from Bamba this time as the ball is handed off, and they do manage to string this one out to the Leicester Falcons. So that is Alex Fallonpin, who manages to pick up maybe one. You can see the Falcons do well there, and that's nice pursuit. Number 27, who made the saving tackle on the touchdown of Newton earlier, Joshua Fagan,
and I think
rallying to the ball.
If they get a stop on this play here, I think he'll do them the world of confidence.
Absolutely. So 3rd and 11 as he rolls out, and it's picked. throws it right to the defender, does the quarterback Alex Challenge. So he tries to do what Sam Bloomfield was doing, but this time it's picked, and that was a nice play by Nick Jones. So Nick Jones playing all over the field today. He's made his impact in kick return, he's made his impact as a running back, now he makes it as a defender.
Yeah, it's a great job, and then maybe that's down to lack of reps at practice, with the backup QB. Not quite the same kind of sync as Bloomfield.
Yeah, 2 receivers there, but nothing.
Ball just slightly behind.
Yeah, nothing available. Not able to get the play out. Nick Jones does a good job of splitting the 2 receivers and being the man that gets the ball. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons off the turnover. Will that stir them into action? Abansky still in at quarterback. Takes the ball off the play action and looks to go down this sideline again. It's underthrown, tipped up and hits the ground. Again, underthrown. And that is defended by Ryan Allen, who's tipped it up a couple of times. He's had a tip but not been able to court it.
Yeah,
Let's have a look here on the replay.
You can see they've got too many deep routes running at the same time. There's too many. It's crowding the area. Need to get some better route combinations there just to clear the inside out a little bit. Maybe hold the safety or drop into that little hold underneath.
And Abansky does seem to have the arm though. I mean, he can get stuff deep. He's just not having much success with it at the moment. And these defenders are good. They're obviously Premiership defenders. That's a nice cut from Nick Jones as he bursts through the middle off the left-hand side. And let's hope he's okay. He's a little bit hesitant getting up, but he is on his feet.
It's going both ways. He's maybe taking the opportunity to
sit down.
Get a couple of moments.
Yeah, absolutely. He is working hard, is Nick Jones.
This is a crucial play here. I think if Falcons can convert this 3rd down, which has not been their strength, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. I'd like to see some form of rollout pass to give Abansky the option to either run or go, run or pass. But let's see what's dialed up.
3rd and 5. Falcons looking to get into this one. They give the ball to Nick Jones again, and he's going to be short. He picks up 3. He needed 5. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Just short. There's going to be 4 and 8.
So the Falcons haven't been shy of going for it.
No, I think a 38-0 down at on the halfway line, you've got to go for it, haven't you?
Absolutely. So they've had, I think the success is to tried 3 times, managed to convert 1 time. So this will be their 4th attempt, I believe.
I would hope that they wouldn't run that same QB draw up the middle.
They're huddling up and having to think about it.
But I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
It's a 4th and 2, but I think that's more closer to a yard and a half.
Here we go, 4th down. Titans may have been pulled out of bounds. That's a smart play by Abansky if it was, as he rolls to his right-hand side. And does he pick up the 1st down? Nice spin move by Abansky, and he's got enough for the 1st down. If this play stands, it's either a 5-yard penalty, I think, which will give him the 1st down, or it's a run for a 4th down conversion and a 1st down.
Yeah, I think you take the stats, don't you?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Let's see what they look like. They're going to decline it.
Yeah, I think that's
offside. Defence. The penalty is declined. The result of the play: 1st down, Leicester.
There's nothing worse than you make a good run and there's a penalty on it, and the coach decides to take the penalty and chalk off your yards.
Takes your yards off the ball. Yeah, thanks, coach. All that work for nothing. And he did work hard for that as well. He ran about 40 yards, but he got the 6 yards that he needed. Did Abansky? So
nice
smart
head fake
play.
There, faking a spin.
And that's the sort of thing he can do, isn't it, on 3rd and 4th down? But again, that time was he got out wide, didn't he, and used the field to run in space. Yeah. All right, so a new set of downs for these Leicester Falcons. This time they get it to Nick, who is spinning, weaving, trying to get away from those Titans, but there's just too many of them. Actually, it's Patterson. It's not Nick Jones. It's Patterson that they hand the ball off. And it's a valiant effort, but they do well just to contain the ends and just to nowhere for him to go.
And Patterson, with his speed, he has a tendency to try and look for the outside as much as possible. Sometimes we need him to put his foot in the ground and get upfield and take what they give you.
So unfortunately for the Falcons, they're going to lose 10 yards on that play. 2nd and 20 now. 2 receivers to the bottom, 2 running backs in, 1 to the top. Abansky, 2nd and 20, keeps this one himself, tries to find something in the middle, but they've been so tough up the middle, have those Titans. They force him back.
That's what we talked about at half-time, that they've got to cut these plays out, which they give them these negative yards, because, second and, if Patterson had, just taken the 1 yard and gone upfield, that you'd be left with 2nd and 9 as opposed to 2nd and 17, 2nd and 18, and that changes your play calling options as well.
It's those big tackles of Cade Makin and Charlie Dixon, 94 and 99 for the Manchester Titans, in the heart of that defence, and Charlie Dixon's gone down to the ground. Desi's come in. He's just saying, look, this is what happened to my hand or my foot or whatever has happened. It looks like it's an arm injury. So we hope Charlie Dixon's going to be okay.
Yeah, sure, Desi will be giving some sympathetic love and attention.
Absolutely.
And we've got paramedics there as well. Shout out Steph and Stu, who have been with us for about 5 years now, and done a great support for us.
Looks like Charlie's going to try and get to his feet. Looks like an arm injury, so he is going to get to his feet and make his way under his own steam to the sideline. And you get an idea of the size of Charlie Dixon and the size of this defensive line for these Manchester Titans. It's a Premiership side, it's a big defensive line, and they've been very effective today against this Leicester Falcons running game. They've given very little away. Back to the live action, and it is going to be 3rd and 16 yards, something like that, for Abansky and these Falcons.
They've seen some success with it, whilst they've not necessarily been complete with the rollout to the left here, and they're on the right hash for this. So I can possibly see a rollout here, sticks and out.
Yeah, 2 receivers to the top of the screen to that side, so that would make sense if they do that, guy, and the 2 running backs in to add that additional protection. Nick Jones is going to go out to receive a pass. Abansky in trouble now, being swung around, strong enough to get away. Now he's ducking and diving, he's trying to get away, he's way back in his own backfield as he reverses all the way, but he's going to get tackled for a huge loss. And again, Abansky delivers the blow, but it's way, way, way back for a loss of about 20 yards.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd there shouting, just throw the ball, throw the ball. He's got to at some point. There was a couple of opportunities there, like here, at that point there. Okay, now he's got to throw it there. And even if you now come back and reverse field, at this point here now he's thinking he's going to take it the whole length. Doesn't, and then just decides to put his shoulder down. But
yeah, it's Mustafa Kamara who eventually dragged him down. I mean, and it was just a good solid tackle in the end against the big quarterback. Mustafa Kamara playing safety and brings him down for a huge loss. So Danny Burton, it's up to you, my friend, to kick this one deep. This one's going to take a Leicester Falcons bounce, and it does take a good bounce. Danny Burton delivering the goods when they've been needed, and they've been needed a lot today from that punt position. Yeah. So they're going to take over on the 12.
You know the type of day you're having when your punter's your best your MVP.
Yeah. Exactly.
But again, another situation there where I think the returner could have stepped up and taken that, and he kind of left himself in no man's land, and the ball bounced just in front of him and then went straight over him. It's I think it's fine in these situations, but when they're going to be up against the in the playoffs, then those could be the differences between winning and losing. Got some new person on the backfield, I see.
Absolutely. So the quarterback number 12 through the interception, Alex Challens, is back on the field. New running back in as well. So this is number 10 they hand the ball off to, and he's not going to get very far. It's Abansky and Adam Edwards making the tackles on that one. So Abansky says, all right, well, let's play a little bit of defence, and manages to get in on the action on that one.
You kind of put him in the hole, you might as well get him out the hole.
Absolutely. That is number 10. Let's see if we can find him on our roster here. Can't find a number 10 on the roster for...
I think it's number 40 there. We've got David Adibo.
Well, that'll be the first. That's a good spot, guy. So Alex Challenge with his first completion this time. That one's going to go to James Nunes, and he's going to pick up 7 yards. So Challenge gets stats on the board as the backup quarterback.
So with a 3rd and 5, and I think will the OC trust him to do that rollout pass again, which he threw the interception on. Nick Jones coming into the box.
I seem to have a picture of Big Bird on one of the boards there. I'm not entirely sure what that means or whether that's just being offensive. But anyway, this one's a muffled snap. Challen picks it up as Abansky chases him down from behind. And the quarterback just has to get rid of it under pressure from the quarterback of the Leicester Falcons.
Yeah, QB on QB action there.
Absolutely.
We can, but there you see that smart decision there. Doesn't try and do too much. Throws the ball away. Lives to fight another day. Now left with 4th and 5 rather than 4th and 15.
So, I wonder what Abansky will do on this one. Is he going to chase the punt down and he's got to go and play quarterback?
Yeah, I mean maybe he's going to try and block it so that he can get himself some better field position.
Abansky with some Iron Man football. As this Leicester Falcons had a smaller squad this time. There is some pressure, but the ball is got away. And it's going to take a Titans bounce. Nick Jones fields it at the 15. Tries to reverse field. Those Titans are quick, but Jones is quicker. He finds the edge. Nice block, and here comes Nick Jones. Oh, the ball's out! And who's got it? It looks like the Titans have recovered that one. And poor Nick Jones putting all the effort, 100% effort into it. Gets hit. The ball comes flying out, and the Titans recover it.
When it's not your day, it's not your day.
Absolutely. Such a shame for Nick Jones, who's been electric, and that return was electric, and just not able to finish it off in the way he would have liked.
When he was tracking back across his own end zone, I thought, he's going to get caught there, but a real burst of speed.
Yeah, you can see it on here. It initially takes a bounce.
So he's
Nick Jones right on his own sideline.
But then it's first a good block there, 38. Another good block there. Puts a little shimmy step in. Doesn't get his shoulder down. And defender does a good job putting a shoulder on the ball.
Yeah, Nick just trying to make some additional yards right there at the death. Good camera work there to bring us that action. No rest for Nick Jones though. He's straight back on the field playing safety. As is Abansky playing left end here. As the Titans obviously recover the ball, and they now have good field position at the 36-yard line of the Leicester Falcons.
I think the quarter ended on that change of possession there. We can go the other way now.
Yeah, with this running clock, things happening quickly now as Shalon goes along across the middle, and that's tipped and caught. Adam Edwards in the middle of the field, reverses field, tries to get to his left, takes a nasty blow to the knee there, and he's gone down to the ground.
He's all right. The adrenaline of... oh no, the adrenaline's not quite kicked in.
It did look like a nasty tackle.
Yeah, he's had some knee issues in the past, Adam. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. He may just be deciding to have a little lie down.
Yeah, who can blame him after that exertion? So challenged, tipped, and then caught. So it was tipped by the rookie Adam Oliver, and then Adam Edwards. So the two Adams joining together on that one. But that does look like a knee injury for Adam Edwards, so we're going to take a bit of a break here while Desi and the others see to Adam. Yeah, gives us a chance to mention our sponsors again. Cross Productions is a unique blend of creative ideas and digital campaigns, and they're all designed with one key ingredient in mind, which is to help your business grow and to reach new heights in this competitive digital industry. From strategic consultancy services, bespoke design development campaigns, right until planning, Cross Productions will help you with your big launch, and they deliver the full package to help you on your road to success. That is Cross Productions.
Yeah, Cross
is
has done
one of the sponsors today.
Cross has done a great job raising our profile within the Leicester business community and Leicester sporting community, and that's really helped be able to generate sponsorship and generate interest and press interest and media interest. So it's they've done a great job.
So Adam Edwards coming off the field after that interception, the tackle on the interception. He'll come off the field injured, but having made a good play.
Yeah, he doesn't look too yeah, just giving me the little thumbs up.
Yeah, nice play by Adam Edwards, and we hope his knee is okay. Did manage to get off the field under his own steam.
I mean, Adam's a great player. The Merseyside game, he came in and filled in at centre for us. And I explained to him, you've got to be really careful because you do too good a job, you end up sticking there.
It's true. Abanski then, after the interception. Oh, and that's a blindside hit from number 99. I think it's Charlie Dixon that came in. And just a pile driver to the back of Abanski, who didn't see him. And Abanski did a good job keeping hold of the ball on that one. Charlie Dixon, not a small man.
Yeah, I think on that play you saw that the Falcons released both of their backs into routes. Obviously you've got less protection there, and he steps up, and unfortunately the interior line didn't give him the protection he needed.
2nd and 14 after the sack. Abanski trying to do something out of the pocket this time, not rolling out, but the pressure was too great from Dixon on that play. 2 receivers in tight, 1 to the bottom. Abanski hands it off to Nick Jones. Nick Jones contact almost immediately, got the ball and he's forced back. And that's number 44, the linebacker Alfred Emzingariza, who comes in and makes the tackle.
Again, that interior pressure there just doesn't give Nick any room to run.
3rd and 15.
And he's going to be feeling the fatigue now, Nick. He's been a warrior today.
Absolutely has. He's actually come to the sidelines now, is taking a quick breather, and who can blame him? Patterson still on the field, Abanski still on the field, and I think that's Gregoire, is it? No, sorry, it's Bami Olapona in the backfield as well. So Abanski looking to roll to his right, throws right, has a man, and it's over his head. He's trying to get the ball to number 82.
Martel.
Looking for Philip Bartu Martel, but it's incomplete. Looked like he was on for a second there.
He did.
Nice spiral when he's left his hand as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt he throws a good ball. I think sometimes just needs to work on his accuracy and timing. The difference between having had Logan Britell, who's our scholarship QB for the pre-season, they're not throwing, they're not reading the game as such. They're not looking for who's open. They know who's open pre-snap, and they're throwing to a specific point on the field. So the ball comes out much quicker and much more accurate.
Burton again with the kick, and this one is going to take a bounce at the 30. Takes a Titans bounce this time, so the Falcons pounce on it, and that ball will be grounded just outside of the 30, so about the 32-yard line is where the Titans will take over. So this game is going back and forth now that the backup quarterbacks come on to play. Obviously the Leicester Falcons, they've pretty much got the measure of these backup players, so that we've come to a bit of a cease in terms of the scoring. Yeah,
well, I think the Titans are only they've still got that ability to make that big play. See if Edwards comes back out yet or not. Was he's still dressed. He's got his boots back on, so maybe he'll be coming out again. Desi insisting he do a bit of a test first.
Quite right too, as this one goes to the left hand side and the Falcons rally to the ball, make a nice play. That's a tackle by number 20 of the Leicester Falcons.
And again, that's when the Falcons put the pressure on and get them to and stop that first down run, which they couldn't do earlier in the game, it just changes the dynamics.
So only one score so far in this second half, as that one is complete to number 11, with Falcons rallying and trying to free the ball, and Abanski coming in tough to try and rip that ball free.
Yeah, and again, it's encouraging to see. There's still a lot of fight in the Falcons. It's often hard when you're getting mollywopped.
Mollywopped,
like they are.
That's Mark Baldwin on the reception on that one. Abanski coming off the edge, almost got his hand to that one, as that's kind of jailbreak screen. Flag goes down, player goes down, and we'll let the referees sort this one out.
Small wager that will be a holding.
Luke Buchanan on the reception. Into the fourth quarter now with this running clock as the referees, let's hear what the referee's got to say about this one.
Illegal use of hands in the back, number 64 of the offence. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I think with your backups coming on as they have, they've had less game time, so they want to make an impact, and sometimes their discipline, their form just comes away from them.
Yeah, that's Liam Twigg, number 64 on that one. Don't know whether it was hands to the back on Labansky or actually was trying to get his hands to the ball on that jailbreak screen. So whistles blow, and it looks like the Falcons want to have a think about this one.
Timeout, Leicester. First charge timeout of the second half.
Yeah, the first time they've had them, back behind the stick. So maybe looking at the opportunity for a turnover, maybe send some pressure, put the young quarterback in some.
Gives a chance to mention one of our sponsors again.
Yeah, Growth Partners are one of our great sponsors. They run a HR and consultancy firm. I can't read off the script there.
It's all right. Our mission, says Growth Partners, is to make employers' lives easier and make employers' working environments happier and healthier space for businesses to thrive. Growth Partners' vision is to aspire to build the UK's #1 employer engagement platform that gives the UK businesses of all sizes access to affordable, expert-level services. That's Growth Partners, one of Leicester Falcons sponsors today. We're grateful to them for all they do for the team. So the Titans, after that Leicester Falcon timeout, 1st and 25. This one's just going to be handed off to number 34, who we've seen before, Axel Falampin. That gets a gain of about 7.
Perry Summers, number 75, with the tackle there. Perry's again one of the long-term Falcons. Came through the academy and the junior team, and he's with us now. Doesn't get much game time normally. So
good to see these players making plays, as this time the Titans go deep and that one's going to fall incomplete. So it's Alex Shallons, the quarterback, number 12, trying his hand to go deep.
Because people like Perry, you can say, got a tackle in the Premiership.
Absolutely.
It's and it can be encouraging to keep them going.
That's what the game's all about. And it does give a chance for those players to come on in situations like this. If you run teams, it's always, when you're losing by such a big margin, obviously that's a real downer for any team. But at the same time, you get other players on, you're able to experiment a bit more. So still worth playing the game out. Shallons now rolls to his right-hand side, looks back across his body, and that one's incomplete. That's a nice play. Obviously, the receiver looking for the defender that time.
Look who's there again. It's Perry Summers and Adam Oliver, two rookies and younger players. Good effort for them.
Yeah, and the receiver, which was number 85, just give you a name for that. I think it was 84. James Dean, was it? Or sorry, Luke Buchanan was the receiver on that one, and that was incomplete. So that will bring up 4th down after that long penalty. So the Titans will kick. It's a good kick, takes a Titans bounce, and that's a great kick, isn't it? Right out at the 5-yard line.
And puts the Falcons back against the wall again.
That's Aaron Boquet. Sorry, that's Paul Stewart who has made that kick. Number 4, Paul Stewart for the Titans with an excellent punt.
Yeah, I think it's with the season the way it's gone and where we're at, there's a lot of thought to next year already, I think.
Got that critical game coming up next week, though, haven't you? On 28th, yeah. So it's where we kind of wrap up the Premier North, and we look at exactly how that table's going to pan out. Obviously, that other critical game, Merseyside Tamworth, still going on.
And that's currently at 23-6 to Tamworth.
So Tamworth really obviously turning up the pressure against their northern rivals, both the Titans and Merseyside. Big clash next week for Tamworth and the Titans. Nick Jones takes the ball, still with that energy, even though he's playing two ways at the moment, playing Ironman football and playing special teams. Still picks up 9 yards, does the Warrior Nick Jones.
Yeah, there's life in the old dog yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that next week's game, Tamworth against Manchester. Obviously, Manchester being the only team to beat Tamworth in the last 3 years. I think they'll be smarting from that. Jason Scott's a very, very proud coach, and he won't want to let that one lie.
Yeah, it should be an excellent game. Titans have impressed me today in the way they manage themselves and manage the game. As Abansky under pressure, he finds some feet, dives his way out of bounds. So he's playing defensive end. He's giving everything he's got in this game, and playing for pride.
And that's all you can hope for. When you're running a club and you're in this kind of position, is that they just don't give it up. They're still. And to be honest, have some fun out there. And Mark he has fun whatever he does. He just loves playing.
You see the pressure again. Abansky manages to get out of the claws of number 44, and then finds way in the end zone and goes up and over.
There's a bouncy castle in the clubhouse today, so maybe he'll be on that later.
Get some practice in. That was Mzen Garcia on the tackle as 23 Nick Jones. Ball almost out. Nick Jones kind of fumbles it, but manages to keep hold of it and lands on the ball himself.
He gets
still picking up yards.
Gets a very favourable little shove from the Manchester linebacker there at the end, which I think was enough to push him over for the first down.
Yeah, good spot. So that's first down for these Leicester Falcons, which is good to see. See if they can keep this drive going.
And this is what they've needed to do, throughout the game. And I appreciate they're up against their backups, but just making those solid plays.
Abansky then, 1st and 10, goes to his right, throws it over the head of Danny Burton.
So again, he's can throw the ball very deep, very well, and when he's rolling, throws well. But the simple pass like that, just doesn't set his feet and sails it over. We should be a routine, almost an extended handoff. Those sort of plays should be.
So you're back to the live action now. 2nd and 10 for these Leicester Falcons, who desperately would like to get their own score on the board before this clock. That's now a running clock. Before this clock expires at the end of this 4th quarter. This one's a hand to Patterson, who does find room to the right hand side. What can Patterson do? He can pick up 7 or 8 yards. That's what he can do before he's tackled out of bounds. So it looked initially like a bit of a muffed handoff here, but Patterson makes the most of it.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to come in originally the other way and then reversed it back.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
Again, that tricky third and short for the Falcons. They're not completing very well. Abansky has this, does on occasions like to just leave the ball in there a little bit longer with the potential to pull it himself.
So 2 receivers to the bottom, 2 running backs in. Abansky looks to the single receiver side and completes. And that is a nice play, and that's going to bring first down for the Falcons, and that looks good.
2 first downs in a row, crikey! I think that's more than they got in the first half.
Absolutely, that's Philip Bartu-Martel.
You like saying that, don't you?
Bartu-Martel.
Yeah, it's lovely
why.
phonics.
Thank you. I get a burger, I get complimented on my phonics. I don't think anyone's ever complimented on my phonics.
You don't get that with Matt, do you? He's too harsh, he's too competitive.
2 receivers to the bottom, 2 backs in. And it's Danny Burton who puts his feet on the ground and does make a cut, gets away from his man, and he's close to a first down. Nice play from Danny Burton.
And again, it's drives like this towards the end of the game, which will then, you start to come out of the game with a positive feel as opposed to a negative going into a big game next week. So, this is actually more important than people think.
2 minutes in the game. Leicester have 2 timeouts remaining. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Manchester, you have 3 timeouts remaining.
So this one is going to be over soon. The Leicester Falcons will be hoping they can get something on the board. There's only been 1 score. It was in the second play of the second half, and that was the run from Newton right up the middle to take the score to 38-0. Nick Jones this time cuts back back in the middle. Nice, delivers a stiff arm, then delivers a blow off the back of it to number 46, who comes in and makes the tackle. That's Christopher Howard. Nick Jones fighting for every yard, fighting to the death. Let's see it on the replay. Yeah, you can see.
Good. The difference is the offensive line against the second string Titans defensive line are getting a push on now, and that's the difference. That's why Nick has been able to get those kind of 4, 5, 6 yard runs as opposed to 1s and 2s.
Familiar formation, 2 receivers to the bottom. Titans with those 4 down linemen now bringing the pressure, so Abansky needs to get rid of it early and can't connect. Pressure coming that time by Ibi Mohammed from defensive line.
I think there's just a couple more plays left in this game.
Timeout Leicester. Leicester's second charge timeout of the second half.
I think they'll probably take 2 shots downfield at this point.
Yeah, and of course the clock continues to run, even though the 2-minute warning continues to run, so it does run down quickly. Only a couple of plays, maybe 3 plays left, as you say, Guy. And what do you do here? Trips, roll, throw.
I would certainly roll. I would go personally trips to where are we on the? We're in kind of centre field, so it doesn't really matter which side you do. I'd probably go trips right with a roll. Send some deep, but with a shorter comeback option as well.
All right. Let's see what they do. 3rd down as well, so they do need the first down. They do need to convert here.
A shout out to Joel Pearson today, who's today's his last home game at the Falcons. He's been our commentator for 5 years.
If you don't count the one I didn't do.
If you don't count the one he doesn't do, he just told me. So I believe that'll be 4.
Here we go then, Abansky on 3rd down with time close to expiring, and that was it early. There's no flag. It looked like the defender got there early, but the referees say no, the ball got there, the defender got there.
I think that's actually a really good defensive play. I think he times it perfectly. Yeah,
there you go.
Just as the ball arrives.
So incomplete, which brings up 4th and 5. This must be the last chance, might be, for Abansky to do something here. Abansky takes the snap, does go deep. It's going to go to Bartu, and it's caught! And it's a touchdown. So they do connect. The Leicester Falcons right at the death get the score that they've been after the whole game.
Good for them. That play's been threatening for a while. He's been looked at that a couple of times.
Guess who it is, Guy? It's Philippe Bartu Martel.
What a beautifully pronounced version of that as well.
With the touchdown at the corner of the end zone. And that is the last play of the game. So the Leicester Falcons end on a high note with Abansky hitting Martel, but that is the game. So it's Manchester 38. They go into next week's critical encounter with Tamworth, having scored 38 points on these Leicester Falcons, but the Leicester Falcons end on a high for their critical encounter next week as well. So we'll take a short break and then we'll come back with a little bit of game analysis. We will see you shortly.
Dragonfly Productions are a full-service live event production company. We can cater for all your event needs with a turnkey solution, or can support you with individual needs. We can supply production design, on-site production management, environmental design, scenic design, exhibition design and build, audio-visual design and delivery, and global support. We offer international reach and experience with partners on every continent, so quality is always assured. In-house branding and design capabilities, an in-house scenic workshop, and an in-house video production team. From a small meeting to a large symposium, your meeting will get the same attention to detail. Dragonfly Productions.
Two.
Welcome to the Leicester Falcons and the Manchester Titans. It was a good game, Guy. In the end, it was not the game that we wanted to see, but it was a good game in terms of being able to see both of these teams going into crucial fixtures next week. But it did end up with the Manchester Titans 38 and the Leicester Falcons 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious to see that Manchester, after the first drive of the second half, where they got that quick score, they brought on their backups. But I think it's encouraging for the Falcons towards the end there, and that's certainly that last drive where they put together a solid drive and came away with a score, which gives them some pride and gives them some encouragement going into the next week's game.
Yeah, and what did you take after that play that Abansky made to Philip Martel at the end there? There was a nice play. Eventually, once the timing got right, it was actually beautifully thrown ball.
Yeah, and he had a little bit more time, had time to set his feet, and that's what he did. He set his feet and just put it out there, put it where only he could catch it. Philippe did a fantastic job of hauling it in.
Good stuff. So let's put our focus on next week's games. You've got a critical encounter next week against Edinburgh. We know Edinburgh can be really dangerous, especially at home. They took the Titans down. How are you prepping for that game?
Well, a lot of people don't travel well to Edinburgh, and we were really hoping that we'd have to go up there at the last game of the season with not a lot riding on it, either be safe or be in the playoffs. But it's not worked out that way. So we've got to go. So this means we've got to travel well. We've got to rest well and be prepared when we come out there. We know what Edinburgh do, again they're another solid team, and keep one eye on the Sheffield result as well. Absolutely, and Sheffield have got their critical encounter against Merseyside, I believe. So that'll be tough for them to get that win. But Sheffield also, they've had a couple of close scores against good teams in this division. So even though you've got this kind of split, 3 teams at the top, 3 teams at the bottom, it doesn't always work out that way, does it? Yeah, and it's great that it's competitive. The playoffs are going down to 1 game. It's almost like 2 mini leagues. You've got the playoffs going down to 3 teams, 2 out of 3. And then the relegation battle, 2 out of 3 will survive, and that's kind of what we want. So Sheffield are a really tough team, and they're fighting for their lives. They know they've got to win that game, because if they lose it, they're down. It's as simple as that. They've got a simple equation. For us, if we beat Edinburgh go down. If we lose to Edinburgh and Sheffield lose, Sheffield go down. If Sheffield win and Edinburgh win, we go down. So it's so anything could happen. Anything could happen. And then you've also got the critical encounter right at the top of the division between Manchester and Tamworth to see who comes out on top. And if the result goes the way I think it will, with Tamworth beating Mersey, that gives Manchester a game up on Sheffield. On Mersey, but Mersey have the head-to-head, so Mersey really have to go and win that game against Sheffield, which, to be honest, does us a favour, because you wouldn't want them going in already set for the playoffs, because they may take it easy. So they've got to go in hard. And last time you played Edinburgh, it was a close game, and it was 10-0 in the end. I think you got the score quite late on in the 4th, as I recall. Yeah. So it was a good competitive game. They have a good defence, don't they, Edinburgh? They do, and I think it suits us more with how we're going to play. I think we can settle into that game a little bit more. We'll be missing Taylor Brown, who was a difference maker in that last game. Yes. But the other guys will step up, I'm sure. All right, excellent. Well, it's been great to do the commentary with you. Thanks very much, Guy, for stepping in. Really appreciate it. Pop my cherry on the with the live production. Absolutely, so, good for you, and it was good stuff as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for this live presentation. Manchester Titans against Leicester Falcons. The score ended 38-6, and we're excited about what we'll see in the playoffs. But this one's in the books. Manchester 38, Leicester Falcons 6.